no shortage of stories here. The 4 teams that are here as surprises. We're going to deal with the stories and some of the personalities as we take a look at just how Iowa matches up against Louisville. We'll get to all of that by examining the Cardinals and the Hawkeyes. What they've got, we'll get to it after this.
Sharp razor blades are designed to give you a closer shave. Great for my beard, but can still be irritating to my skin. So I help protect my skin with Rise. Rise is thicker than the leading foam. Look, I can't even shake it off. Rise helps protect my skin against irritation. So for today's close shaves, get today's Thick Rise. Helps protect your skin against irritation. Thicker Rise helps protect your skin against irritation.
You're the skeet shooting expert. What am I doing wrong?
Let's talk about it over beer. Better yet, over a Michelob Light.
A light beer? Since when?
Since Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
On NBC's Olympic Diary, the nation's top athletes, led by Curtis Dickey and Franklin Jacobs, compete in the National Collegiate Indoor Track and Field Championships tomorrow.
Market Square Arena is the scene. The teams in contention, a surprise. Last year when we got to the finals at Salt Lake City, Indiana State, Michigan State, everybody expected them to be there. Indiana State was undefeated. Michigan State led by Magic Johnson. Everybody expected them to win it. The 4 teams that are here, well, no one dared dream they would be. Let's check in with Dick and Billy and Al. Gentlemen?
Okay, Brian, Louisville's Cardinals, the winningest team in college basketball, 31-3. If you're looking for a favorite, would be the logical candidate. But there are 3 that, if you love the underdog, are looking for the Cinderella that you might want to choose. My partners have made their decisions. First, Al McGuire. Is there someone with a glass slipper?
I believe that UCLA, in the beginning of January, they're 8-6. Coach Brown was overcoached. It was all mixed up. His seniors have had 3 coaches in 4 years. His freshmen were not mature. Also, they have no true center. They're almost close with Dunkirk. Then all of a sudden, out came Cinderella, and it hasn't struck 12 yet.
Well, that's hard to believe. 5 years ago, you'd say that in 1980, UCLA would be a Cinderella team. Do you agree, Billy Packer?
Well, he likes toy soldiers and nursery rhymes. You know, I'm into basketball. I think we're in a new era, Dick. I don't think there's any Cinderella teams. The expanded field, the survivors are here, and I think that's what it takes. These are the toughest of the 4 that are left, and I think that this is what we're seeing in college basketball. Blood and guts, and that's what we got out here today.
Billy Packer says there is no Cinderella. Al McGuire says it's UCLA. Mr. Packer says it's a jump ball. Take your pick. Louisville, Iowa, Purdue, or UCLA. Brian?
Well, Dick, certainly no shortage of Cinderella slippers, but I like Billy's term, frankly. Indeed, they are survivors. But to get here, Iowa and Louisville have survived different kinds of trials. An Iowa team that was hampered by injuries early in the year, that was responsible for their 23-8 record. And one of the injured parties was their leader, senior guard Ronnie Lester. He stands 6'2", but he's their floor leader out on the court. He's come back from a knee injury to give them guidance in the backcourt. He's not as quick as he once was, but his stamina and experience are what counts. His backcourt mate is the man who provides the quickness, and that's the gentleman on the break right here, sophomore Kenny Arnold. Arnold, who wears number 30, makes up for what Lester lacks in quickness, and like Lester, he's a bomber from outside, a zone breaker. Inside, Iowa is unspectacular, but indeed very, very steady. And they're led in there by 6'10" junior center Steve Kraftsisson. Like most of the Iowa Hawkeyes, he's a player, an all-outer. Another all-outer, 6'6" sophomore forward that Lute Olson starts by the name of Kevin Boyle. His specialty is defense. He contributes 12 points a game. The scorer on the front line is Vince Brookins, who earned a starting berth with 17 second-half points against NC State. And first off the bench, you can rest assured, will be Steve Waite at 6'10". He was the man who got Iowa here with his last second bucket over Georgetown. Lute Olson has a team that is indeed qualified to be in the Final Four. You speak of qualified, you got to start right at the top of the list with the Louisville Cardinals. 31 wins this year, and no other team can match that. Perhaps no other player in the nation can match the talents of one Darrell Griffith. Number 35, he's finishing up a brilliant career at Louisville. Known as the original Doctor of Dunk, the man is Dr. Dunkenstein. Darrell Griffith with a 42-inch vertical leap. Stands only 6'4", but he does the kind of things that few guards can do, like getting the rebound right here and getting it out on a fast break. But this year, Griffith is surrounded by a team. He's surrounded by a group of youngsters. youngsters. Inside, sophomore Derek Smith, 6'6", just a young man. Wiley Brown, another sophomore, 10 points and 8 rebounds. And inside, they've got a freshman by the name of Rodney McCray, who is all beef and standing at 6'7", making up for the absence of his brother Scooter, who's out with an injury. The man who runs the show is also a sophomore. That's Jerry Eves. He's smooth and he's quick. Louisville has everything, and they continue to have the image of the doctors and dump. They're a bunch of leapers, and they're a bunch of leapers who has put Denny Crum into the Final Four with one of his better teams. As we look ahead to Iowa and Louisville, there are, of course, a lot of things that you cannot figure on. Perhaps the most unlikely candidate to be here was Lute Olson. Few people know about him, but many people know about Darrell Griffith. Billy Packer had a chance to talk with both of them.
Being not only the playing leader, but also the positive thinking leader for the club?
Well, not too much pressure, Billy. I just, you know, find it real nice to be looked up to. The players come to me for advice, and it makes me feel real good when I can give them some helpful advice.
Darrell Griffith and Ronnie Lester, two of the best in the entire United States. It's a shame Ronnie's not 100%, but we can expect to see two great ones there.
That's right. Darrell Griffith is a great player. They're different players. Darrell, you know, can give the team help in scoring and rebounding and leadership. Ronnie has to do it with his leadership and with his ball handling and running the show. Right now, scoring-wise, he probably won't score a lot, but he'll create a lot of problems that will allow other people to score.
Containing Darrell Griffith will be a key to this game. We'll have a very special look at Louisville's Dr. Dunkenstein when we come back.
Hey, don't worry. They just got lucky.
I'm sorry. I let us down.
Forget it. We'll beat them next week.
No, I really let us down.
Come on. How about a Michelob Light, huh?
Michelob makes a light beer?
Sure.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
This Michelob Light is great. Hey, you know what our real problem was today?
Yeah, you were terrible.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste to any beer you like.
Yeah.
If one of these chuck holes has your name on it, put your name on this. Firestone's in-line all-the-time agreement. It gives you a complete front-end alignment whenever you need it, for 5 years or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first. If you can't steer clear of chuck holes, and who can? Put your name on an in-line all-the-time agreement at Firestone at a very low price.
Holiday Inn.
Welcome to our people-pleasing place.
That the Holiday Inn East, the Holiday Inn West, the Midtown.
The one by United Industries.
The one by the headquarters or the plant?
The headquarters.
We offer you a choice of the most popular locations.
You need 3 hands.
You're right.
People-pleasing.
Exciting elements of this college basketball season has been the outstanding individual performances of stars like DePaul's Mark Aguirre and this man, Darrell Griffith of Louisville. Once known as Dr. Dunkenstein, Griffith was recently named Sporting News College Player of the Year.
I guess you'd have to say he's poetry in motion. He's so fluid and so explosive. He's so quick. He's so dynamic in that he does things with such a flair. Not hot dog. He's got such tremendous ability, and he plays the game with such enthusiasm that everything he does incites not only his own teammates but the crowds and everyone that watches him. He just is poetry in motion.
I want to create things out there, not for myself, but for the team and the team's benefit. Most of the attention will be drawn toward me if I have the ball. The defense of another player would tend to come my way where I can dump it off, you know, just create anything, not just to score, but passes, steals.
Whenever the game gets tough or close and there's a crucial situation, he comes up with a big play. And that's, I think, the thing that's carried us throughout the year.
For Louisville, the story of this season has been the successful mixture of youthful enthusiasm and the performance of Darrell Griffith, who has been, as his coach Denny Crum says, poetry in motion. his last chance. Will Darrell Griffith finally make it to the final game, or will Iowa remain unbeaten outside of the Big Ten? Two of the many questions to be answered as we start a very, very big day of NCAA semifinal action with the contest between Iowa and Louisville. That contest coming right up on NBC following these messages from your local station. Semifinal.
And he combines that with a soft shooting touch. And then inside, the new guy that you've got to watch in this game, Wiley Brown. They talked about that thumb missing, but that's about all. Very powerful, great rebounder, and loves to play the game. Two exciting teams.
Louisville, the unbeaten champions of the Metro Conference, against the Big Ten representative, the Hawkeyes of Iowa. And we'll meet the starting lineups from Indianapolis, Indiana, right after we return you to our studios for this message. Louisville against Iowa, and here are the men who got their respective schools into the National Collegiate Athletic Association Championship. For the introductions, here's Frank Fallon.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineups for today's game. At a forward from Iowa, number 40, a 6'6" sophomore from Chicago, Kevin Boyle. From Louisville, at a forward, number 41, a 6'8" sophomore from Sylvester, Georgia, Wiley Brown. At a forward for Iowa, number 32, a 6'5" junior from Cleveland, Ohio, Vince Brookins. From Louisville, at a forward, number 43, a 6'6" sophomore from Hogansville, Georgia, Derek Smith. The centers for Iowa, number 54, a 6'10" junior from Chicago, Illinois, Steve Kraftsisson. For Louisville, number 22, a 6'7" freshman from Mount Vernon, New York, Rodney McRae. At guard for Iowa, number 12, a 6'2" senior from Chicago, Illinois, Ronnie Lester. For Louisville, number 5, a 6'4" sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, Jerry Eves. At a guard for Iowa, number 30, a 6'2" sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, Kenny Arnold. And at guard for Louisville, number 35, a 6'4" senior from Louisville, Kentucky, Darrell Griffin. The Iowa head coach, Luke Olson. And the head coach for Louisville, Denny Crum.
So the confident Cardinals, many of them smiling, of Denny Crum against a tense, serious-looking Iowa Hawkeye team. The first of this doubleheader match in Indianapolis's Market Square Arena. And we'll have the opening tip-off in just a moment.
Hey, you want to meet a guy who's really in deep water? He's on top of what's going to be the largest Texaco offshore rig ever. It's off the coast of Scotland, and it cost around $500 million. When it's fully operational, it'll be able to deliver almost 4 million gallons of oil a day. Will that help America? It sure will. Because in the North Sea or here at home, finding oil anywhere reduces dependence everywhere. Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
Everybody loves a winner. Only the winner can really make things happen.
In rent-a-cars, Hertz is the winner, #1. In a business where the name of the game is speed, to be #1, you have to get the customer from the plane seat to the driver's seat fast. Nobody's come up with more ways to do that than Hertz.
Everybody loves a winner.
The black and gold from Iowa, the red and white of Louisville. And we're set to go this first of the semifinal matches. Louisville, a slight favorite against the upstart Hawkeyes of Iowa. There's the lineup for the Cardinals with Eves and the All-American Griffith in the back line. And Iowa starters. Kevin Boyle, Brookins at forward, Lester and Arnold. Lester the great star in the backcourt, Kraftsisson, who matriculated at North Carolina before transferring to Iowa. The opening tap gained by the Louisville Cardinals. They're wearing the white uniforms. We'll introduce the starters now in action. Eves and Griffith in the backcourt. Derek Smith on the side, one of the two sophomore forwards. Wiley Brown the other. Inside to Wiley Brown, and Kraftsisson ties him up.
Straight man-to-man defense outside. Good lob pass inside. Kraftsisson trying to front Wiley Brown. We talked about his great strength.
Kevin Boyle made the play that time, coming from the weak side. They slough off Purdue.
Iowa gains the tap. And here's the man to watch, number 12 in black, Ronnie Lester. He missed 15 games, had minor knee surgery, a great player. Kevin Boyle outside. Vince Brookins, he was all east. This is his first attempt, gets a second chance. And it is Louisville controlling. Jerry Eames the other way. Left-handed sophomore. Off to Brown. Brown fires. Rebound Boyle.
Both teams a little tight with their shooting and had the right guys at the right place.
There's Lester, and Iowa leads 2-0.
Great man-to-man defense. The interesting matchup right there. Arnold on Griffith.
Griffith, McRae, the freshman center. Number 22 now dishes off to Griffith. He's tough inside or outside.
Arnold will not last on Griffith playing man-to-man. He'll probably pick up 3 fouls, then they'll go to Boyle.
Griffith ties it up with a 25-footer. Well, we saw the 2 stars hit the first 2 shots of the game right out of the script.
And what's interesting, that shot was 25 feet, and he didn't even have any effort whatsoever to put it up.
Lester with that right knee still heavily bandaged. Eaves on him. Vince Brookins had a great Eastern tournament.
Both teams are playing man-to-man out of the top of the game.
Kevin Boyle to the baseline, likes that shot, but he's short. Brown was the man who batted it off the boards, and Eaves brings it down. This is Griffith. Griffith hits 2 rainbows, and Louisville leads 4-2.
Dick, we talked at the top of the show that he combines great leaping ability with a soft touch. Maybe only David Thompson has come along in a long time to do that as well.
Ball was kicked by Louisville's Griffith out of bounds to Iowa at midcourt. Lute Olson, 45-year-old head man of the Iowa Hawkeyes. It's interesting, the 4 coaches that have brought their teams to the Final Four, the age range, youngest Larry Brown, 39, Lute Olson at 45.
45 is old for a coach.
It is.
If you don't win, it is.
The exception of Ray Meyer.
Brookins, short, rebound Boyle, partially blocked by Griffith, back to Boyle, inside, and it's Wiley Brown for Louisville.
Iowa's respecting the great leaping ability of the Cardinal team.
Griffith going for 3 in a row. Not there. Rodney McRae, the freshman, makes it 6-2.
Louisville's off their feet so much faster than Iowa. Louisville, a quick leap is where Iowa, a strong type power rebound. They're going to get position to get the boards.
Brookins has been left wide open. He's a good shooter. There's Lester again. The pros seem to come to the top of their game when they need us.
Griffith has 4 and Lester has 4. Louisville in front 6-4.
Well, Lester's a great play. I was down at Pan Am game, and they had Kyle Macy and Isaiah Thomas in that club, and I thought Lester was the best guard in the team.
He started every game down there. First foul of the game goes against number 30, Kenny Arnold of Iowa.
Look at Darrell Griffith. He showed him the outside shot. Now he goes down in low off the screen. Here he is inside, gets fouled, but look at the doctor of the dunk right there. He's the leader.
He's the chief surgeon.
Inside to Derek Smith, way off the mark, and it's Iowa with a chance to tie. Kenny Arnold off to Lester, and Brookins dishes out to Arnold.
Really tight on their shooting.
Wiley Brown to Eaves. Eaves around Lester. Nice control by Eaves. Derek Smith. Boy, the pace early is intense.
You usually get that when you get man-to-man against each other.
Derek Smith got off to a slow start against LSU. He's somebody I'm sure Denny Crum wants to break out of the box early.
Louisville with the ball and a 6-4 lead, and Darrell Griffith from 15 is not there. Rebound Arnold of Iowa. This is a Chicago-influenced team in Iowa. 4 of the 5 starters are from Chicago.
Well, the Windy City puts out good ball players. They're spread out through the whole nation.
There's a double low post by Iowa. Men stepping out. Lester looks down.
Lester has all 6 of Iowa's points. He's from Chicago, and we have a tie game. Played 4 minutes, first half.
Ronnie Lester's first step is just out of sight.
Derek Smith, line drive, 4th shot, rebound Lester. Pass, Kevin Boyle. What a play by Darrell Griffith.
Oh, he made him recock that time. Unbelievable defensive play.
Now Griffith the other way. He's fouled by Lester. First foul on Ronnie Lester. Let's go back to the defensive play by Darrell Griffith.
Well, Lester made a brilliant pass right here. He led Boyle perfectly. Now, Boyle hears Griffith coming. He made the double pump because he knew that Darrell was going to be there, and Boyle wasn't able to make the shot. Incredible defensive play.
Skywalker was right there.
I guess Darrell Griffith was correct in choosing Cardinals as the team that he is playing for, because he does do some special flying of his own. He now has 5. He now has 6 points, and Louisville leads 8-6.
And here's that full-court zone press. Louisville tries to make it a full-court game at all times. They let people go down the left-hand side, but really play it double-team tough on the right. There it comes, right there.
Well, it's not a press that turns you over. It just bothers you.
Boyle short, but Gray rebounds. Here's Smith. 8-6 Louisville. Nearly 5 minutes gone. Smith off the Eaves.
Oh, that hurts.
That's foul.
Foul on Lester, his second foul.
That was a tickle foul. That hurt.
You know, Al, you pointed out about Lester's first step. I think right now, because he does have the blazing speed, but because of his injury, it's been taken away from him, I'm surprised people don't play him real tight and make him put the ball on the floor.
Well, right now, with 2 fouls this early in the game, it's not even 5 minutes yet, I'd post up Lester, try to get the third on him, get him on the bench for a while.
He may be sitting down.
We have a timeout. Nearly 5 minutes gone. Game 1 of the NCAA semifinals. And the early report, Louisville 8, Iowa 6.
Our new house is costing plenty, so Ted's painting it himself to save money.
Watch it.
Oh, well, we got to save every way we can.
You can save 15% on Allstate homeowners insurance.
15%?
It's Allstate's biggest new house discount ever.
Your house is brand new, so you'll save 15% the very first year.
Boy, that'll buy a lot of paint.
Maybe some paint remover, too.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
And that's a promise from us, the good hands people.
Photographing Peggy Fleming was like watching a bird in flight. It was a perfect assignment for my Canon AE-1. Unlike most cameras, even on automatic, I get the shutter speed I need to stop the action. So it's like Peggy's in the clouds, and I'm with her, and the shots just happen. You try it, Peggy.
Me?
It's really so simple. About all you do is focus and click.
The incomparable Canon AE-1, so advanced, it's simple.
The bachelor life ended when his daughter moved in.
It's time I got to know you and see if we could get it on.
Get it on. Me and Max right after Sanford Saturday.
Louisville leading 8-6. Shooting percentages reflect the Louisville advantage, although based on those numbers, the Cardinals should be ahead by more than a bucket. It'll be Louisville's ball out of bounds as we return to the action. Here's how the Cardinals arrived at Indianapolis. They lost only 3 times, by 2 to Utah, by 13 to Illinois. Then they ran off a school record 18 straight victories before Iona defeated them in New York by 17. They were unbeaten in the Metro Conference and in the tournament. They won 2 overtime games and then blew out LSU last Sunday.
2-3 zone by Iowa on the out of bounds.
Here comes Lester the other way. Chance for the Hawkeyes to tie. Boyle to Brookins. Rebound goes to Eaves as he picks up the loose ball.
Brookins' shot is too flat. It's like a pancake. He has to pick it up. His trajectory is too low.
Pass by Eaves was low for Brown. Kicked out of bounds. It'll be Iowa the other way.
I think what's happening, Iowa looked at the scouting report about the great leaping ability of Louisville, and all their guys are altering their shots, not putting it up there nice and soft.
Kevin Boyle misses, and Derek Smith rebounds for Louisville.
Hey, they're getting good shots. They just are not putting it up there in a normal fashion.
5.5 minutes have been played. Louisville by 2. Griffith gives them a 4-point lead. Gerald Griffith has 8 points.
Griffith's going over Arnold. They're going to take him outside. They got to put a bigger man on him. I certainly believe that eventually they'll go to a zone, Iowa.
Hard to go to a zone if they get behind.
Well, the foul situation's so whacked out already. There's 3 fouls on Iowa and none on Louisville.
Lester hits again. Ronnie Lester has all 8 of his team's points, and Iowa draws within 2.
I think that was a set play for Lester to get themselves open. Look at Gerald Griffith.
He's on a shooting clinic.
Wow.
He now has 10 points.
He's tattooing that rim.
There's still that zone pressure after all made shots. Then they drop back to man-to-man.
Man's free on the left.
Arnold's wide open. See Wiley Brown's man. Now the switch takes place.
The two stars have put on a show early. Lester has all 8 of Iowa's points, and Griffith has 10 of his team's 12. Brookins, not there. Rebound, McRae. Here comes Griffith. Dr. Duncanstein. Inside bad pass, tapped away. And Kenny Arnold for Iowa.
Wiley Brown thought he was going to shoot.
Arnold misses. Derek Smith rebounds.
The fellas are not looking at the hoop. They're looking at the defensive players.
35 is Darrell Griffith. On this side, Derek Smith. Traveling. Iowa brings in the first substitute of the game, number 24, Bob Hansen, a freshman from Des Moines. He replaces Vince Brookins. There's Hansen, averaged 5.5 points a game this year, and he replaced Lester when Lester was on the shelf with the knee injury for 15 games.
Well, you know, it helped their club. When you have a star hurt like that, you get a chance for a sub to come in and start, get maturity and confidence. Now they can go to Bob Hansen without any problem.
McRae comes out of the Louisville lineup, and 44, Pancho Wright. He's from here in Indianapolis, is in for the first time for the Cardinals. That's Wake. Knocked away, and Wright has it stolen from him as Lester moves in, and he is fouled by Wright of Louisville.
You know what's so tough, Dick, for Lute Olson right now? Brookins has been phenomenal shooting-wise since they've been in the NCAA play. They're counting on him to hit those shots. Now they have to take him out. He was not playing well defensively, but offensively he was out of sight. Here's that double shake.
Yeah, it was a hesitation dribble, Billy.
Good move.
And there's nobody in basketball, in college basketball, that can cover him man-on-man. There's also no one that can cover Griff man-on-man.
Ronnie Lester, his number 12, was retired after the last game of the regular season. Quite an honor for this senior from Dunbar Hines, Chicago. And he has all 9 of Iowa's points and can pull the Hawks within 2 with his free throw.
You can see how much they've been going to that clear out on the right-hand side, allowing him to go to the basket.
12-10, Louisville's lead shaved to a basket. Roger Berkman, 34 with the ball. He's in the game for the first time for Louisville. Inside, Derek Smith can't hit. Wiley Brown kept it alive, but Kevin Boyle pulled it down for Iowa. Kenny Arnold ties the game at 12 with 12 minutes and 12 seconds left. How's that for a nod? 12-12 game, 12-12 left in the half.
Iowa's defense settling down right now, picking up a lot better than they were earlier in the game.
16,000 at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. See Darrell Griffith. The All-American now has a dozen.
He goes up in stages. He goes to a certain stage, you put your hand in front of his face, and goes to the next stage. And all of a sudden, he's in the sauna area.
A decent blind jumper.
He knows anytime he takes it into the middle, he can always go above the defense.
Boyle off the Wake. He scores, and he is fouled by Derek Smith.
We'll see Darrell again, working to get open. Comes off the screen inside. He's going to come back off the screen again by Pancho. Gets the ball. Now, here's where I say he goes into the middle of the area. Never worries about getting a shot blocked because he goes over the defense. Good passing inside by Boyle to Wade. Real nice.
Wade had nice position in that time, Billy.
And he has a chance to give Iowa the lead. 15-14, Hawkeyes.
Like I said at the top of the show, Iowa has 10 fouls to give, which is very important at the center position.
Meaning they have 2 big centers, Graf Sisson and Wade. Pancho Wright out to Roger Berkman. Griffith working on Arnold. Fadeaway jumper. Oh, is he hot?
Arnold just put his hands on his hips. He doesn't know what to do with it.
Now we're going to be picking the star of the game, that foul on Derek Smith, his second. And the Gillette Track 2 Most Valuable Player Award, a $1,000 scholarship to the school for whom our star plays. That'll be announced later in the game when Ronnie Lester and Darrell Griffith off to a fast start in the balloting.
Dick, I think that was part of a scouting report, too. Lester is breaking the press by going down the left-hand side of the court. He knows that Louisville would much rather trap on the right, so he's been taking it the other way. Smart player.
Well, against Lester, I like a box one, Billy, where you cut him off and put a box zone in back of him.
Kenny Arnold free behind a double screen, and Iowa back in front, 17-16.
fortunate to be in this position.
Oh, they're a good ball club.
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of people misread this club. Don't forget, last year they were tied for the Big Ten championship. They were in the NCAA last year.
Yeah, they were tied with Michigan State, who went on to win the championship. Griffith again. Oh, my. Right down the bottom of the well. 16 points for Griffith.
Al, I think it's time to put a bigger man on him and take the chance that you could go at least up in his face, because he's shooting right over Arnold. He's using his head for a peep sight.
That's what I said earlier. I believe that the Louisville living legend is really on all burners.
There's Berkman on Lester. That's going to be quite a matchup.
We're approaching the midpoint, 10-minute mark. Rebound by Louisville's right. Long pass to Griffith. He can't save it. Yes, he does. No, it was out of bounds. Whistled out of bounds. No basket.
You notice how the great players never show effort. They seem to be smooth like silk when they play.
Joe DiMaggio in center field.
That's absolutely right.
I thought he played left.
Darrell Griffith, with little effort, has given Louisville a 1-point lead with 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
I just bought a high mileage Mercury, and I'm proud of it.
If you think only imports give you high gas mileage, think again. This sexy, sporty Capri from Lincoln Mercury has about the same mileage ratings as Volkswagen Scirocco, and comparably equipped is sticker priced over $1,300 less. Capri, it's a high mileage car built in America from Lincoln Mercury.
Now that's something to be proud of.
See your Lincoln Mercury dealer is bright as shining time of day when you can say, come on and head for the mountains. The taste is smooth and waiting for you.
Here's to a beer brewed slow, cold, and natural for a taste as smooth as its name. Busch.
Head for Busch Beer. Head for Busch Beer. Here's your miracle. Stand up and fight. This is it.
The two senior backcourt stars, Louisville's Darrell Griffith, 16 of his team's 18, and Ronnie Lester, the senior from Chicago, 10 points of Iowa's 17. See that Louisville's outscored their opponents by 11 thus far.
Dick, at that set, it's 10 minutes left to go for the half. You'd have 64 points for the game.
Inside is Steve Wade, stolen by Berkman, and then fouled by Wade, trying to get it back.
Good play by instant defense.
Boy, isn't he, though? He comes in and immediately forces turnovers. We've seen that throughout the course of the year from Berkman, and then he draws the foul.
You know, Dick, you usually see that kind of player being a great athlete, you know, with quickness and everything.
Like Dudley Bradley of Carolina.
He does it with instinct. He really is an intelligent basketball player.
Here comes Berkman with the ball. Lester hawks him.
Double team by Boyle.
And before the half is over, Berkman will take a charge and foul.
Inside to Griffith, over Arnold. Not there, but Wright with a good rebound, and a foul is against 24 Hansen of Iowa.
Pancho Wright's an excellent ball player, Dick. For him to be the 6th or 7th man off the bench shows you how strong Louisville is.
I'm really surprised that Darrell Griffith has taken Arnold inside now. That's the only place there's help for him. He's doing a lot better on the perimeter. There's the zone out of bounds again.
Out to Griffith, inside to McRae. And he drops in his 4th point of the game. So McRae is the only one who has interrupted Griffith's dominance of the scoring. He has 4 points and Griffith the other 16. Boyle with a quick move to the basket, traveled as he saw a white jersey ahead.
Really no place to go down inside.
I thought he palmed, Billy.
Well, here he comes around the corner.
Right there.
Right there. Well, I think the walk was called as he was palming it, all in one motion. But really no place to go. They're a lot better if they let Ronnie Lester generate the offense.
Berkman off to Wiley Brown. Here's Griffith.
They've got Hansen on him now, a bigger, stronger player.
Wiley Brown, Pancho Wright, dumps off to Brown, and a whistle. Foul is against Wade. No, 32 Brookins raises his hand, his first foul. That'll be 16 fouls on Louisville, on Iowa, and 3 on Louisville.
I really thought that foul was on Wade rather than Brookins.
Wiley Brown, here's your man. He likes like shoe. Here's how Iowa, they're off to a 10-0 start before they lost to Michigan. And that was about that time that Lester was hurt. They lost 3 or 4 games in the middle of the year. Struggled without Lester. Then upon his return late in the season, they put it back together, and they've had a great tournament, as you can see, with wins over Virginia Commonwealth, NC State, Syracuse, and Georgetown.
Dick, now we see a real big lineup in the game for Iowa. Both Waite and Kraft Sisson in the front line.
Wiley Brown looking for his first point of the game.
Very interesting young guy. He likes hunting, bowling, camping, and fishing. Likes the outdoor life.
Darrell Griffith took that one away from a man a half foot taller. 20-17 Louisville. 8.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
No man-to-man situation. Let's see. Brookins.
Winner of this one will meet the UCLA Purdue victor in our second game this afternoon. Inside to Griffith.
That's 2.
22-17 Louisville. Griffith with 18, a remarkable half by an outstanding player.
He rubbed Hanson right off the high post that time to get it inside.
When Lester gets the ball again, he'll go around Berkman.
Good rebound by Wiley Brown as he rips it down for Louisville. 5-point lead for the Cardinals. Griffith.
Oh, what a play.
To right, and he threw it away. Lester the other way against Berkman. Foul is on Berkman as Lester crashed into the upright support. Let's hope he has not injured himself.
What is it? I don't know. He really took a solid hit right there, and he's not getting up too well.
I hope it's just the wind being knocked out of him.
Let's see how it happened. Lawrence Lembo, the official, working over Lester.
Well, here you see Berkman tried to get over there to draw the charge too late. Now here he is coming down.
You know what? I think it happened before the shot, Billy. Can we see that again, please?
It might have. The knee might have tightened up on the way down the floor.
Can we see it again? Right about here. Watch. He starts to show an expression right there like he's hurt. See? Right there. So it looked like it came before the shot.
Yeah, it looked as if he was trying to protect his right knee as he was in midair, was trying to land on his left.
I don't like that, Dick, because I think he might have either pulled something in there. Otherwise, it just would have been a bang on the floor.
It is his right knee, I believe, and he's favoring it as he walks off.
Well, that's a nice gesture there by Darrell Griffith coming out. Ronnie Lester, of course, has been playing at 75%. He had that knee operated on and talked about his blazing speed, but it's not all there right now. I hope he can get himself back into action here.
I hope so, too. Ronnie is 15-1 while he was playing with Iowa, and the one game that they lost, he didn't start that particular game.
And what a kid. You know, they said that he could run for governor of Iowa. They said as he was going into the operating room, everyone was asking for his autographs. The first thing he saw when he came out of the anesthesia was a nurse with a pad and pencil wanted his autograph. And 6 hours after surgery, he was already lifting weights. He wanted to return before his senior year was through.
And Al, you talked earlier about losing your star, and then it brings the best out of your teammates sometimes. Iowa's used to having Lester down. Let's see how they react to him sitting down now.
Kenny Arnold shot the free throws for Lester. That is a decision made by the coach. Lute Olson picked Arnold to shoot the free throws.
I still believe the other coach should take the foul shooter and injuries.
I agree with you. I don't think Billy does. Darrell Griffith.
Now, there was the case. Boyle on Griffith made him change his shot. They put a bigger man on him.
Arnold off to Boyle. Iowa now playing without its star, Ronnie Lester, trailing by only 3 to Louisville with 7 minutes remaining in the first half.
This is one of the best days in sports.
Wait. And it's 22-21 Louisville.
Watch this matchup now. Boyle on Griffith. That's going to be the key to the rest of this half.
Wiley Brown can't get around Kraft Sisson. Berkman now has Arnold. Berkman 3 inches taller. McRae overweight. Way off the mark. And here comes Iowa with a chance for the lead. Arnold with the ball. Stolen by Griffith and recovered by Brookins.
Brookins hasn't been able to get out of the box today either. Good shooter. Wiley Brown on him now.
So Arnold, look at the clock. 6:20 remaining in the half. Kevin Boyle.
That shot.
No, he threw that one rather than shooting it.
Look out. Griffith, nice. Great pass to Berkman. What an assist by Darrell Griffith.
Oh, I'd like to be Griffith's agent.
He had 130 assists on the year, so obviously he knows what to do with it other than shoot it. And if you'd be his agent, he'd be broke.
But he also rebounded nearly 5 a game. Brookins connects. Vince Brookins, 24-23, as Ronnie Lester has aggravated that knee, still on the bench.
Brookins needed that one. Now he's out of the box. He's off the blocks. He'll get going.
Griffith is really looking Boyle over. He's trying to figure out where he gets open.
Derek Smith, a little jump hook, and it's 26-23 as Smith has his first bucket. 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Just the start of a very busy and exciting day of basketball here on NBC. Purdue and UCLA, the match in the second game.
Boyle was freshman of the year last year in the Big Ten.
Boyle with the ball, Griffith on him defensively. Kenny Arnold. 26-25, Iowa trails by only 1. 8 points now for Arnold.
Actually, Iowa's got better distribution in their scoring.
Wiley Brown backs it home. I wonder if he was trying to use the glass.
I think he was trying to use the glass, Billy. He doesn't look comfortable when he shoots, but he gets the ball in.
He had no angle for the backboard. I think he was lucky.
There's no such thing as luck.
How do you define luck then?
Not when you get this far. I think luck goes out the window when the element of time comes in. And when you get this far, you're not lucky. You're good.
Brookins lines it home. All right, Coach. And Brookins might say that he does have a little luck going for him. We're going to review his background as a youngster. He's lucky to be alive, much less playing in this tournament.
Here's the clear out.
Out of bounds to Louisville. It's 28-27 Louisville.
Hey, nice job by the official right there. On top of the play, Shaw Brookins knew he touched.
Timeout. Denny Crum, who moved to Louisville 9 years ago from UCLA, and he's never won less than 20, and he's averaged 24 a year. His team has a 1-point lead.
You're looking at a superbly engineered instrument, a Gillette Atra razor. Because no two faces are the same, the head pivots, allowing Atra micro-smooth twin blades to adjust to the contours of your face for a really close, safe shave. If all this sounds like we're trying to get you to buy an Atra, you're wrong. We just want you to buy 5 blades, and we'll give you this Atra razor free. But hurry, an offer like this goes fast. Buy 5 blades, get a free Atra razor.
Right guard knows that in equally active situations, men and women don't perspire equally. Men perspire more. That's why men count on Right Guard. Right Guard is so strong, so effective, it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. Yes, men and women don't perspire equally. And that's why men count on Right Guard. Strong, effective Right Guard. Because men perspire more.
On NBC's Sports World, see the top 2 women's...
Monday night, the 1980 NCAA champion will be crowned here at Market Square Arena, but it's a big weekend of basketball for us on NBC tomorrow. The top women players in the nation. You'll see Old Dominion ranked #1 against the second-rated team, Tennessee. They've survived the playoffs and will meet tomorrow on the campus of Central Michigan University. You'll see it all right here on NBC Sports World, so don't tune away. We've got basketball for you, the doubleheader today, the women's championship tomorrow, and the national championship on Monday night.
Well, Old Dominion has that great play in Nancy Lieberman, and I also know the coach of Tennessee, Pat Head. Congratulations on getting to the finals.
28-27, Louisville leads Iowa. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Griffith to Eves, left-hander, hits it.
That's an extremely good shot when you figure he shot it overweight.
Well, Denny Crum says that Eves is the best guard to come since he's been coaching at Louisville.
That's a strong statement.
Yeah, I know. But he's the coach.
Brookins couldn't get it inside, so Arnold will set it up. Again, Ronnie Lester, injured about 4 minutes ago when he crashed to the floor on a drive, has not returned to the lineup. Kraft Sisson.
Oh, that was in.
Basket rejected that one.
Eaves inside to McRae, banks it home, and it's 32-27. Rodney McRae has 6 points. By the way, we're going to be introducing our NBC all-freshman team between games of this semifinal action, so stay with us. Block! Pancho Wright blocked that one.
Iowa's got to be careful about a real Louisville run here.
Pancho Wright not there. McRae, he fouled as he went around Waite. Rodney McRae with his first foul. 5 team fouls on Denny Crum's Cardinals. Iowa has committed 6.
Rodney fought for inside position here and created the foul underneath. Watch him come around.
Here's an invisible offensive goaltender right there. The ball was in the basket.
Iowa trailing by 5 with the ball.
Constantly putting that semi-pressure on them, pestering them all the way. They're breaking their rhythm.
Yeah, they really are. You know, without Lester in the game, they've lost their offensive continuity against the press. Boyle now back at a guard position offensively.
Kenny Arnold driving on Berkman. Not there. Tipped out, and Eaves, boy, he always seems to be in the right spot. Good control by Eaves, no whistle. Berkman batted away. Blocked it back. Berkman, what a play.
He did a... Looked like he was on ice out there that time. He did a split.
Berkman, he's just like a cat.
What's that ballet star you like, Nick?
Duryev or Bereshnikov.
That's right. He'll never be one of those, but he gets it done. Look at that. He's on the floor. Really hustling.
Reminds me a lot of Kenny Denard. He's a floor player. He's out there hustling all the time.
Steve Wade committed the foul. And at the line, Rodney McRae. 7 points from McRae, and that's Louisville's biggest lead at 33-27.
He has an unusual motion. Gets his legs going before the ball's ready to go. Al, you showed him how to shoot earlier today. Hey, he took the lesson well.
34-27 with 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the first half. Arnold around Berkman. He almost had another steal.
Smart play by Ball. Bring it back out.
Kraft-Sisson in the post. Scores. Good power move by Steve Kraft-Sisson.
Nice move by him.
2 minutes remaining in the half. Eaves from 20. Way off the mark. Wright comes out with the ball for Louisville.
We haven't mentioned it, but Darrell Griffiths, of course, out of the game right now. Louisville playing the zone defense. First time they played it when it wasn't an out-of-bounds situation. 1-3-1 with Waite on the baseline. And Denny says, hey, come on out. We're not playing against that zone with the lead.
This is play number 4.
Lucky move for Louisville to be able to rest Darrell. He had the hot hand. They put him down, but the club showed last week they can play without him.
Kevin Boyle back the other way with a big nope. He misses. Boy, Iowa shooting in tough luck.
They're going to go for one shot, Dick. They're not going to play against this zone. You can bet on it.
Well, I think they'll pull them out of the zone. Then they'll go into offense.
There they are. They're going for one shot.
They're sitting on one of your plateaus, aren't they, Al? If they should score a bucket before the half, we're in the final minute now. That would be a 7-point lead. That's a significant number.
That'd be a big lead going in, but they'll create play. They'll go up and down the court a few more times here. Iowa's going to have to come out and play man-to-man. Look for the ball to get to Derek Smith, posting up.
Now, Lute Olson hasn't put him in a man-to-man lineup yet. We can watch Kraft-Sisson. When he assumes a man, then they'll be back in the man-to-man. But he's not taking a man. He's staying in the zone.
Well, Iowa's a second-half club. They've been burning them up in the second half all through the NCAA.
Denny Crum, 42 years of age. He graduated from UCLA in 1958. He'd like to get a chance to beat possibly UCLA. He wants for his team to go for the final shot. He has his star, Darrell Griffith, on the bench. Ronnie Lester with an injury on the Iowa bench. And here comes the final attempt by Louisville.
Look for Pancho Wright with a jumper, too.
Jerry Eaves. Berkman gets the rebound. Pancho Wright, and that's the end of the first half.
Thought he got fouled.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving underneath there.
Louisville goes to the locker room with a 5-point lead and an angry coach who thought he should have a man at the free throw line. And how badly injured is Ronnie Lester. At the intermission, Cardinals 34, the Hawkeyes 29. We now return you
our studios for this message.
By losing the game against Michigan State in the finals, I felt that it wasn't only a defeat, it was more of a heartbreaker because we went so far. We won 33 games in a row, and we went to the finals. We done a lot more than people ever expect us to. It hurt in many ways, but still, we was at one place in time that not very many people get the opportunity to be there.
Everybody was, they really just couldn't describe it, even before we won and afterwards. It's a feeling that you always have and that you will cherish, you know, through your career, and even when you get older. You can always look back and say we did something that a lot of players never will accomplish. And I just hope that I can just relate that to other players and other people.
Well, when you're young, you never think you'll be in a place like that, especially with all the publicity, and it's a pressure-packed game, and going against a great player like Larry Bird, you never think you'll get that far, but it was just amazing to be there, and we won it last year, and we're glad we did.
Well, after I think back, it just seems like it was just yesterday when we played out there. It was just unbelievable, really. The whole community around here, Terre Haute, and I think the whole state, they were just they were really behind us a lot. Of course, the kids here at school, it was just unbelievable, the enthusiasm and the togetherness, really, of the whole community, that they were just pulling for us.
Although two of the country's best-known players were matched up in Salt Lake, last year's finals featured two relatively unknown coaches in Michigan State's Judd Heathcote and Indiana State's Bill Hodgins.
It was a lot of fun. This year has been a struggle, but our guys gave their best effort, and you know, as long as you're giving your best effort, you have to be able to accept the outcome. I miss being in the tournament, and I don't want that to happen again.
The feeling after it was over was one of elation, but tremendous relief. We thought our kids would go out and party and have a good time, and they were so emotionally drained that most of them went right to bed. Now, that's hard to believe. They said, hey, we'll party when we get back.
We get a guy down here. The '79 NCAA tournament even created an unlikely celebrity in Jamie Shoes Huffman, a reserve guard who came off the Michigan State bench late in a runaway Spartan win.
His teammates don't even know it.
He can't get it on. He's nervous. He hasn't tied the shoe now. Here he comes.
24, Huffman. Let's get him into the game.
The game is saved. Oh, he got the ball already. Up, now he'll tie his shoe. Watch. There he goes down.
Jamie Huffman. Attaboy, Jamie. Gets his big chance. He spent 3 minutes trying to get his left shoe on.
For the rest of your life, you're going to be known as Shoes.
Attaboy, Shoes Huffman.
And when I came into the dorm, they had shoes signs all over the dorm. And the first thing I remember, I didn't know anything about it at all. And I walked into the dorm, and everybody just started yelling shoes. And ever since that, it's just stuck. And I remember walking around campus, and everybody just started saying shoes. That was my new name.
That was the sort of thing that happened in last year's tournament. A year later, Indiana State's Carl Nix has this advice for the players competing today.
Just say, you know, be relaxed and just enjoy it, because it's only going to last for a while, you know. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose, but just be yourself and enjoy it. That's all I tell them.
And there he is in the middle of your picture, slightly hidden. There he is, Judd Heathcote. He's relaxed today. He wasn't so much so a year ago.
He's an outstanding coach. He really has probably the toughest zone in the history of college basketball. He's a great guy, and I kid him a lot. I tell him he's the only guy that combs his hair back to the front.
And he'll be here to watch the new champion crowned on Monday night. At halftime of our first game today, it's Louisville 34, Iowa 29. Our IBM College Report continues.
To make an intelligent choice in fine cars today, test drive Lincoln Continental 1980. Traditional luxury in a trim new size, with better gasoline mileage ratings than even the smallest Cadillac. Many dealers have been using a Lincoln specially equipped with a mileage monitor, so you can see for yourself how the automatic overdrive helps improve Lincoln's highway mileage. Test drive a 1980 Lincoln Continental now. See your Lincoln dealer. Take the mileage monitor test drive.
They come out of nowhere.
Furnished by the NCAA. Well, that's it for the IBM College Basketball Report. Second half of the Iowa-Louisville game following these messages from your local station.
Gentlemen, here are the official statistics.
Well, obviously, the shooting percentage by Iowa way down, 12 for 33. 36%. And what's interesting there, Dick, is Louisville normally allows opponents to shoot over 50%. So you can see the shooting way off. Rebounding also 22-12, and that's something that I'm sure Iowa in the second half is going to pound the boards. The key to the second half, Dick, where's Ronnie Lester?
Ronnie Lester apparently tried to warm up, could not. It does not look as if he's going to play the rest of the way. What a tough break for Iowa. Griffith, a great first half, as the All-American players are wont to do, and the big ones. And Ronnie Lester was a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor and 2 for 2 from the line when he left the game with that knee injury.
Let's remember that Iowa is a second-half team. They've done it all the way with the NCAA in the second half.
And they've won games without Ronnie Lester. So this is a competitive ball club that's used to playing without him at times.
And they get the tip and control the ball to start this second half. We introduced the players for you. Kenny Arnold, number 30 now. He's the sophomore. Will run the show. Wade, Kraft Sisson, Boyle, and Brookins. That's Brookins with the ball now. Inside to Wade. Boyle knocked out of bounds to Iowa. Darrell Griffith, 35, back in the game. He was rested the last few minutes of the first half by Denny Crum.
Well, this is a big team in the game right now for Iowa. Two big 6'10 plus guys, plus Boyle, who plays big, and so does Brookins. So Arnold, the only guy without the big size in there.
And Louisville in his own defense. Wade dumps it off to Boyle. He was 0 for 7 in the first half, and he walks on that possession.
Wiley Brown created that walk. He came at him, and he just shuffled his feet.
And here we are, the start of the second half, where Darrell Griffith really likes to take over. He's got Boyle on him. Let's see if he takes to the offensive. Really tries to get the shot off early.
Here he comes around the pick.
Jerry Eaves with a drive. Blocked nicely by Craftsison. And tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Louisville.
Well, I thought that was a goaltended play inside on the way down.
It remains 34-29 Louisville. UCLA Purdue in the second game today. And at halftime, we'll introduce our NBC all-freshman team. Ooh, Arnold almost with both hands at the ball.
Iowa needs the first basket. It's big.
Wiley Brown, Wiley defense.
Wiley pointing in the opposite direction. Boy, he's a good kid. Great attitude. Here we see going the other way.
This one, Lester got hurt. I say he got hurt right there, and they bumped into his knee before he went down on the ground.
It looks like when he planted it, Al, it just gave away. Of course, he's had trouble with it all along. It's never been strong. He's not even on the bench now.
Well, what a heartbroken moment it must be for him to work so hard to get his team here. Missed by Brookins, missed by Craftsison, and back out as Brookins saved it. And the Iowa Hawkeyes will have another chance. Neither team has scored the first minute and a half of this second half. Inside to Craftsison. He scores, and he is fouled. Foul on McRae. The 1980 NCAA Basketball Championship program is a memento you'll treasure. Exclusive information on the Final Four, tournament records, plenty of photos and features included in this collector's issue. So to check your money order for $4, the NCAA program, box 1980, Lexington, Kentucky, 40593. Preceding announcement was furnished by the NCAA.
You always talk about getting the Final Four with a big man. And Louisville really doesn't even have a true center in the ball game, but Brown and McRae can play so well in there. There he goes.
Darrell Griffith, his first shot of the second half, just like most of those he gunned the first half, and he forces the turnover as it goes off Kevin Boyle.
Boy, they're so quick. Lute Olson didn't like the call. What he also doesn't like, with Boyle in the backcourt, they're really not prepared to get the ball up against the press.
Griffith with 20 points to lead all scorers. Going for 22. Got it.
Boom, it looks like he's putting the lights out.
You know, he not only goes up, he very seldom goes up straight. He has the ability to glide and still have the jump shot on schedule.
He still moves the ball from the left to the right while he's in the air.
Denny Crum, whose pleasure has been to coach Darrell Griffith, who was a high school star in Louisville, male high school.
We may catch, before this game is over, Darrell going up for one of those jump shots and show how he glides from side to side, getting the shot off.
Brookins cut off by Smith. Craftsison fouled. Darrell Griffith, his first foul of the game. Griffith has had some problems in the tournament with fouls. For those of you with us on NBC, in the overtime game against Kansas State, he fouled out with the game tied. His teammate Tony Branch, who had scored rarely all season long, made a leaning leaper, 15-footer, and at the buzzer.
Try that one again.
Louisville, I don't know. I might take a leap.
You sound like me.
Help me out. Help me. Never.
Oh, doctor, am I glad when you make a mistake.
You didn't think Lena. That's what I was trying to say.
You know, Darrell got in trouble in the LSU game on fouls just last week.
That's right. He had 3 fouls early in that game. But he's committed only 1 today, and Louisville's lead is 4. We played a bit more than 2 minutes of the second half. Almost turned over as Griffith had trouble.
But Boyle is intense to try to slow this guy down.
Inside to Smith. Brookins has him on the man-to-man.
Look at Boyle. He's trying to prevent Darrell Griffith from getting the ball, which is the key to good defense.
Wiley Brown has Steve Waite defensively.
That is very close to a 5 count.
McRae banks it home. Rodney McRae, 10 points for him.
We've been talking about Lester's injury. How about this Louisville club not having a guy like Scooter McRae, who was going to be certainly one of their key basketball players? He hadn't played all year.
Almost stolen. A foul is on Wiley Brown, 41. Just to explain to those folks who were not familiar, Billy, Scooter McRae, a brilliant freshman last year, a sophomore, injured in the 3rd game, knee surgery and out for the season. So he'll be a sophomore along with his brother Rodney next year on Louisville's team. They're going to be tough again.
For you coaches at home, there's an important thing that's happened right now. Louisville has just picked up their 4th foul. There are no fouls in Iowa. It's a very important statistic.
Good point, Al. Brookins, 16-footer.
Boy, he cannot hit it.
And a foul on Boyle over the shoulder for Iowa. That is the Hawkeyes' first foul and the first on Boyle. Say it's an all-new Saturday night on NBC. First BJ in a new time period. Then will Fred make it to the altar on Sanford? Good to have Red Fox back on NBC. Followed by the premiere of Me and Max and Primetime Saturday. That's all tonight on NBC.
Just got a report from Ronnie Lester. They have ice on the knee. He doesn't think he can come back to play. And he said he first felt the pain when he was laying on the floor.
Boyle took it away from Griffith. 40-34. Iowa trails Louisville. 3.5 minutes into the second half.
Boyle has great hands. Noam Sloan from North Carolina State called him the bionic man.
Inside to Waite. Tough angle, and Waite cuts Louisville's lead to 4. 7 points for Steve Waite.
What we're seeing now, Dick, is Iowa's going inside to the 2 big men that they have going over the Louisville big men.
Griffith and McRae miss, and Iowa gets the ball. Vince Brookins, oh, he's angry.
What's happening now, where the Leafs of Louisville are getting tired, where the strong rebounders from Iowa are coming on stronger.
And those Iowa fans are on their feet. Kenny Arnold cuts the lead to 2.
Look at Boyle. He's just trying to keep the ball away from Darrell Griffith.
Inside to Griffith.
Griffith's going upstairs.
Over Boyle.
I knew he was going upstairs that time.
It takes a guy with great defensive intensity not to get frustrated when a man's making shots like that. Boyle's got that type of attitude.
The only way you can play Griffith is before he gets the ball. After he gets the ball, you pray.
Well, Griffith and Mark Aguirre. And a nice drive by Kenny Arnold. We're about to say that Aguirre and Griffith have been battling for Player of the Year honors. Each has been named by various services. And Griffith trying to punctuate a great season with his effort here today. Louisville by 2. Brown.
Not a good shot.
Derek Smith almost tipped it in, gets it back, and he is fouled by Craftsison.
Derek Smith got to get going, and he's due.
Well, even the great ones have an embarrassing moment.
Well, there we talk about the intensity. Excellent play by Ball. Puts his hands right up, takes the ball. Normally, when you come over the top like that, you get a foul called on you, but he had the ball all the way.
At the line, sophomore Derek Smith, 20 Metro Conference. He's only 18 years old. He'll graduate from college before he's 21.
Excuse me, Dick, but someone told me he's 17 years of age. That can't be right.
He's 18 now, just turned 18.
There, Boyle just got a little rest. Lute Olson realizing he can't keep up that intensity he had. Hansen's back in the game. He'll probably pick up Darrell Griffith at the other end of the floor.
Smith Finished high school at 16. You see it from high in the rafters here at Market Square Arena.
Let's see if he nets this one.
44-40 the score. Louisville by 4, and we have a timeout. 15 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the game. Iowa, without its star Ronnie Lester, trails the Darrell Griffith-led Cardinals by 4.
People would rather
5 rows off the floor, and everyone who has a ducket is mighty happy to be here in Indianapolis today.
You know the circle around the foul line? That's the three-point area for the Pro Bowl. NBA, if you shoot a basket from outside there, you get 3 points. It came originally from the old ABA before they merged with the NBA.
And you know how to shoot them, didn't you?
Oh, I had to drop kick him in from there.
You know how long it took Harry Coyle to convince a guy to go up there to take that picture this morning?
He left yesterday to get there.
Vince Brookins for Iowa. A little too low in the trajectory. Griffith with a rebound. Louisville 44, Iowa 40. 15 minutes left in this one. Wiley Brown jumps it off, and a foul is going to be on Brown of Louisville, I believe. Yes.
Now, with Boyle out of the ball game, I'm surprised after that timeout that Louisville didn't say, look, it's Kenny Arnold back on Griff. Get the ball to Griffith, let him shoot over him as he was in the beginning of the game. Boyle's getting a rest, Griffith's not getting the ball.
Wiley Brown goes out with 3 personal fouls, and Poncho Wright, 44, returns to the Louisville lineup.
Got a guy over 6'7" on the floor for Louisville right now, and they're in the lead.
That's only their size. They don't play that way. They play much bigger. They all play about 6'10".
Darrell Griffith is no 6'3".
Still the man-to-man defense.
Arnold with Griffith. Nice move by Arnold.
Oh, how about that move?
Rodney McRae with a block. Griffith the other way. What a pass to Berkman, and he is fouled. Darrell Griffith showing the all-around prowess of this athlete for Louisville.
Well, he gave us a little bit of Hollywood that time.
You know what was great about this play, being right here on the floor, as soon as he crossed half court, we'll see Rodney McRae now put this one away. See you later. Now, Darrell gets it. As soon as he got the ball here, you could feel the crowd from Louisville saying, oh, what's he going to do? You know, and they just assumed that he was going to come up with a great player, which he did. Into Berkman.
And Roger Berkman gets the first free throw. That's his 3rd point of the game, and Louisville opens a 5-point lead.
It's a set play, Al. They're setting the screen for Arnold just as they would for Lester.
That's when Ronnie kicked the ball out when Arnold took the shot.
Berkman gives Louisville a 6-point advantage with 14.5 minutes left.
Big time of the game right here, fans. This is a key basket. Iowa needs it.
Inside, McRae to Berkman.
You know, Louisville doesn't
need a timeout now. They got to call it, Billy. Timeout. They got it.
Timeout is the call. Roger Berkman set up first by Griffith and then by Rodney McRae, and Louisville enjoys its largest lead. 14 minutes, 10 seconds left. The Metro Conference champions, Louisville 48, Iowa the Big Ten 40.
In 1970.
Reminder tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Score, Louisville over Iowa. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Pressure on Boyle in the backcourt. And Arnold brings it in.
But Boyle really has trouble against the press when he has to go in the backcourt as a secondary ball handler.
Crafts this in. Scores! What a play by the big guy, and he's fouled by McRae.
That's a technical foul the way Smith hit the backboard that time. Let's catch it.
If the shot goes in, he's all right. But if the shot didn't go in and he created that backboard to vibrate, it should count anyhow. Watch him make the wheel. Now here's what he banged the board. If the shot didn't go in, that shot should have counted anyway. Here we see the man-to-man. Kraft Sisson really making some nice power moves inside. I asked him the other day, Dick, if any of the kids from North Carolina, where he used to go to school, had talked to him about this. He said no, but he got a nice telegram from Dean Smith.
You know, he played against me in my final game.
That's right.
He was on that North Carolina team that Marquette beat in the 1977 championships at Atlanta's Omni.
Al probably didn't pronounce his name right in that game either.
I'm not saying his name. I say it's Kraft Sisson. When I can't pronounce his name, I don't say it. I call him Steve. The big white kid out there.
Let's not get into that.
Louisville with 13 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this first game, the NCAA semifinal.
Nice patience by Louisville now.
Derek Smith. Oh, Brookins defense, and a foul is called on Brookins.
Good offensive move by Smith that time. His feet almost touched the ground. He just threw the ball up.
Let's see what Brookins did wrong.
Well, that was a triple pump. He got up in the air and didn't know what to do. Watch this right here.
Watch his feet coming down. He had to get it up. He just got it off.
There was no contact.
I agree, Dick. How about this? What do you think this fella thinks? Lute Olson.
When I coached against him at Long Beach, he didn't have all that gray hair. I think the Big Ten does that to you. The Big Ten is a fans league, not a coaches league.
Derek Smith got some pretty good coaches there. You better explain yourself.
Well, I'm saying that it's tough on the coaches. It's great for the fans.
I think any league's tough on the coaches, but they probably have some that can take it as well and give it as well as anybody around.
Yeah, Lute Olson yesterday mentioned Johnny Orr, Bobby Knight, Lee Rose, and the competition just among coaches in this tough Big Ten conference.
There's Berkman's charge.
Berkman will take 2 of those a game.
That's right. What happened to Steve Waite? He lost concentration away from the ball. Berkman, and if you play against Louisville, Al, you've pointed it out many times, you better be prepared. He's going to step in and draw the charge. And he did it right there in the open court area.
Well, Berkman's flop foul costs Iowa.
Uh-oh, Boyle better be careful. Too over-aggressive.
Gerald Griffith, hawked by Boyle. Berkman into Griffith. And a foul on, is it Kraft Sisson or Waite?
That was a close ball foul there. Could have went either way. They could have called Griff for charging into him.
Well, Darrell felt that tremendous pressure that Boyle was trying to put on, so he didn't hesitate a second to take it in there and draw that foul.
Doug Griffith at the line. He has 24 points in the game. Here's a man who learned how to dunk with his spectacular dunks when he was 10 years old. They said back in his Louisville area, they had a basket on the garage, and the young kids used to run, jump against the garage to vault themselves up, and he learned how to dunk. About 9 feet high was the rim in those days for him. That's how he learned those incredible dunks.
When he graduated from Male High School in Louisville, they offered him a pro contract.
7 minutes gone, 8-point lead. There's another turnover. Berkman with the ball to Griffith.
That was a great catch. The ball was tipped by the defensive player, and his hand reaction is so good, he still made the catch.
Made it look easy. I don't think many people even noticed it. Pancho Wright, and that is Louisville's biggest lead at 10.
And Dick, had Darrell Griffith not made that catch, the ball would have been out of bounds, Iowa's ball. You never know how big a play something like that can be.
For the first time, a team leads in double figures. Cardinals 53, the Hawkeyes 43.
Iowa got to suck it in now.
Brookins connects.
Big basket, Brookins. Out of sight, that shot. Kept him right in the ball game.
That's a mark of a well-coached team, too. Instead of getting rattled, they went right to their offense.
6 points for Brookins. Darrell Griffith and Berkman outside for Louisville. Smith and Pancho Wright are the forwards. McRae in the post.
This is good patience by Louisville. They're not forcing anything in there, and yet they're not holding the ball either, so it makes the defense really work.
I think you'll see Griffith now come around a double pick.
He's looking for a high lob.
Here you go. All she wrote.
Oh, what a fake. Oh, my. Darrell Griffith, a little clinic in Indianapolis.
But don't forget Georgetown last week. They were leading by 14 points, and Iowa come back.
Right, 14 points in the second half, Georgetown's lead.
See, they're going to that double low post down inside, trying to force the ball in, and they're getting it pretty well.
That's a good call. They caught Berkman that time. He stepped in too soon.
Okay, we're going to see that play before, Dick, and you really have to appreciate basketball here. Now watch the ball, tipped just slightly by the defensive player and Griff, just like we mentioned Joe DiMaggio before, but any of the super athletes have that ability.
Eddie McAllis.
Hey, how about the coverage, though? Our guys getting a play like that seems so incidental. Great work in there. George Riegel, our producer, Harry Coyle, our director, executive producer, Don Holmeyer. Please join us here in Indianapolis. Brookins has his 7th point, and Louisville's lead is at 9, 55-46.
Yeah, he's starting to come out in front, this kid. He's a thoroughbred. He has a big heart.
In fact, he's lucky to have one. He was stabbed when he was a sophomore in high school in the heart. Required open heart surgery. He's had his collarbone broken, his shoulder broken, 2 broken hands. He had 2 thighs broken and a hip in an auto accident. He's still playing.
He has more injuries than Audie Murphy. Oh, God, leave me alone, you two.
There you saw Pancho Wright dishing on inside. Al, I got to get you back to the game again. Lean up here.
Okay.
Vince Brookins, he is a tough cook. He had 10 stitches in his lip this year. He just rubbed that off. That isn't even enough to make you leave the game.
How about the assistant coach at Iowa? Survived an airplane crash. That's
just 5 weeks ago. Tony McAndrews on the bench. Just more than fortunate to be alive.
See, Iowa went to the out-of-bounds situation in the zone. Denny Crum pulled him right out. And, of course, at this point in the game, Lute Olson says we can't afford to be back in the zone.
Kenny Arnold forces the jump ball with Berkman. Berkman will have 2 inches advantage.
Dick, both teams are in a 1-1 now. So any foul now for the rest of the game, if we go to overtime, it'll be 1-1. We got a lot of time left. 10 minutes and 29 seconds, and there's an 8-point spread.
Boy, Berkman got off his feet pretty well.
He can take that ball.
That's right. The ball touched.
Stolen nicely, and a foul. Hansen made the play. Bob Hansen, and Berkman committed the foul, his 3rd. Denny Crum talking with his star defensive player.
Fellas, if we can never go back to that jump ball, that'd be interesting. Watch this. When the ball hit the floor, it's eligible for anybody. Had the ball not touched the floor, then the only people that had touched that ball were the 2 jumpers, and a jumper cannot gain possession.
I knew that in grammar school.
You knew that he could get it, but you didn't know why.
At the line, Iowa has been perfect today. Jack Bailey, our statistician, 11 out of 11 for the Hawkeyes. Make that a dozen in a row, and that's kept them in the game.
Well, this kid, Bob Hansen, played with Dowling High School that won the state championship last year.
6'5" from Des Moines. And he makes it 13 straight for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Good pressure.
Within 6.
Good pressure.
Griffin. Spin move. And it's stolen. Kraftsison has it. Here come the Hawkeyes. They can pull within 4.
Lester has not come out to the bench in the second half, but they're playing great without him.
Arnold drives the alley, and it's Iowa's turn to cheer.
Louisville needs a timeout, Dick.
They're taking it.
9 minutes and 50 seconds remain. Timeout. Iowa, scratching back, has scored 6 unanswered points. Louisville's 10-point lead has shrunk to 4.
It's the Waco Kid. Them Monroe Radiomatics. Ride good. Good? Read this. If in 60 days you don't agree for Radiomatics give you the best ride ever, Monroe will replace them at no charge with any comparably priced shock. Sold me.
You want to put them on your car, kid?
Yeah. What's a car?
In goal, in his first professional game, our own Olympic flame, Jim Craig.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good. That's the way it should be. I like to say it. Oh, smiling with me. Coca-Cola as right. Have a Coke and a...
Take it from 2 guys who've had a lot to smile about lately.
Smile.
On NBC's Sports World, see the top 2 women's teams battle it out in live, action-packed coverage of the AIAW.
His 6th year at Iowa City, Robert Luther Olson. Last week, they're playing against Georgetown with 6 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. They were 14 down. He called timeout. He said to his players, hey, you're not playing bad. You're 14 down. Just keep playing. Don't quit on me, and we can win this ball game. And it looks like we might be having the same thing right now happening. Olson, who loves ice cream, he says, I'll go for that pralines and cream if I win the national championship. His team is within 4. Louisville 55, Iowa 51. 9:40 left. Griffith again off the glass. And now Hanson's on him. That's the thing. He only has 1 foul, I believe, on him, Dick, right? He got the rest at halftime, so he's a refreshed ball player, and he only has 1 foul on him. So he's really tough to handle at this stage in the game. Maybe the difference in this entire championship. All right, in the first half, he sat about 2.5 minutes. Griffith now has 29 points to lead all scores. Vince Brookins, 57-53. You know his shot is higher now, Dick? All right, now here's a call. This call right here is going to be called a block on Brookins. And what happened is when he's caught the ball, he hadn't yet come down. He had no opportunity to go ahead and set himself to dribble up court. I think an excellent call right here. Here he comes. Never had an opportunity. Brookins took his position before he ever had a chance. Watch this. Well, see, just as he was coming down, he has to be given the opportunity to touch the floor. That's when the call, excellent officiating call. Now, Jerry Eaves, the sophomore from Ballard High School in Louisville at the line. He has only 2 points today. 58-53, Louisville. I wonder if Tony Branch over there is just relaxing until he's called on for the designated foul shot out. He's got his feet folded, just relaxing. Jerry Eaves, an honor roll student. He's the youngest of 7 children. Louisville keeping up their defensive pressure, full court. Hey, they're going back in his zone. Yep, back in his zone, first time. 9 minutes left. Hansen from the side. Gets it back. Good hustle. I think they're trying to protect Wiley Brown. I think also they're just trying to throw Iowa off guard a little bit. They played that real good double low post offense, and we're getting good shots. Kenny Arnold hits it, and it's 60-55. Make that 59-55. Kenny Arnold, kids call him double bubble. That's because of his backside. It is. Boy, did you see Greff again? Goes up in the air and just glided across the lane on that play. Boy, these are winning kids. You know that they're playing so hard. No matter what the score is, they're still hanging in there. That's what you expect in the Final Four. Derek Smith. Great pass to McRae as Christensen came out. McRae cut through for the easy 2. It's a pro pass. 12 points. Looking at that back line, a freshman and 2 sophomores by Louisville, and they're playing like veterans out there. Brookins. Hansen tried to tip. McRae controls. And now it's Gerald Griffith. His Griffness. Yep. And that all-freshman team, you get Rodney McRae gets to the Final Four. Doing a solid job in there. We'll have that announcement between games of our doubleheader of our all-freshman team. Griffith inside the score, and he was fouled. He can change direction so easy. He can pull up on the dime. He's just unbelievable. Watch how he slides across the lane. Once he leaves the floor, there he is. Look at him sliding. Looks like he can change gears up in the air somehow. He is the bird of the 1980 NCAA tournament. Actually, he got fouled right there by Hansen. But watch this. He's going to glide across the lane. Starts out on one side of the lane, ends up on the other side of the basket. For Gerald Griffith, that is 32 points today. He is just capitalizing all the A's in All-America. Still the zone pressure on one end. Now let's see if they drop back. Yeah, they drop back to the 2-1-2 zone. McRae in the middle. Hansen, Arnold twisted his ankle, but he's okay. Arnold favor Arnold. Hansen. Christensen foul over the shoulder. Boy, and the frustration on his face to know that he worked so hard. Hansen and just missed that little peeper inside.
Lute Olson's big center. Krafsison has his third foul.
Arnold, actually, there's where he twisted his ankle, but he had the shot the first time and just didn't get control of the ball. Watch it right here. Watch Krafsison over the back.
This is where he missed the chippy right here.
Yep, and there he is, over the back. And look at how frustrated he is, and he realized he committed the foul.
Now, both teams are in a 1-on-1, so Rodney McRae will get up there and make one for his brother, the first one, the second one for himself.
From the same high school, Mount Vernon in New York, that sent Earl Tatum to Marquette University. You've always said that's your favorite player.
I think he had the most ability. I used to call him the Black Jerry West. He's an outstanding young man and a great player.
Darrell Griffith, as he congratulates McRae, has number 35 on his uniform. That's significant because that is his high for the year, 35. And he's about to break it here in this most important semifinal.
Well, a lot of time.
Yes, 7 minutes left, and they have to make one of their famous runs.
I think what's helping Louisville is the fact they're keeping the defensive pressure on. Therefore, they're not trying to protect any lead. They're going out for more.
High above Market Square Arena, you see that defense form. Iowa on the attack. Hansen on the side.
Ooh. Biggs for a freshman. Wow.
66-57 the score. Louisville by 9.
For some reason, I keep thinking the Pope visited out of Iowa, and I keep thinking of miracles.
Could happen. They've pulled off some big upsets all season long. One is to even be this far in the tournament. No one counted on that.
Now there were two kids from Ballard High that were on that NIT championship team in Virginia, and now in Eves, they've got another teammate there having a chance.
Hansen steals, and it is Brookins who scores, and Griffith fouled, I believe.
They didn't call it, Billy.
No foul.
No, they didn't call it.
I thought it was automatic too, but he really went up. These like two birds flying above the mountaintops. Whee!
You know, he was so quick with the dunk. If he had delayed his hand action, that ball might have been blocked.
All right, there it is again.
There it is.
I would like to be under the basket when that thing comes through.
I wouldn't want to come down from the height they were when they were at the peak of their jump.
A couple of pole vaulters at 66-59, Louisville by 7. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the second game. UCLA from the west and Purdue of the Mideast will battle. Winners to meet on Monday night for the championship.
Give Griff the ball and clear out.
Here comes Griffith. Oh, missed the shot. He's human.
Yeah, he tried to come in the back door that time.
Kenny Arnold showing his quickness. Blocked by McRae. He vacuumed that one in.
You can pin it on the board. Good play.
And a turnover by Louisville, so Iowa comes out of that all right.
All right, let's watch this dunk as it comes up here on the screen. An unbelievable dunk.
There's Hansen, big steal. Brookins.
Now watch their feet, how high they, well, we can't catch the feet in that one.
Boy, he was so quick coming down.
You see,
here's Arnold in the block by McRae. He just sucked that one in.
Yep, good play. Ball on the way up. You can trap it on the board in college basketball. So a good play by McRae. Another one of those super freshmen.
Hansen loops one up. Krafsison rebound. Good play. It's 66-61. Iowa continues to hang in there tenaciously.
Too many steps.
And it'll be Iowa the other way, trailing by only 5.
Iowa took a big gamble right there. When the ball got to McRae, there was a 3-on-1 fast break opportunity at the other end. He could not make the play.
Well, I think that Louisville will sit back in their zone, over favor Arnold from the outside. Gannon will have the shot. He's a good freshman. Maybe he'll hit another one. 1-2-2 zone now.
Ronnie Lester, in case you joined us late, re-injured his knee, has not played since midway in the first half. Kenny Arnold, short. Griffith, oh, what a recovery. And now it's 3-on-1 for Louisville. Berkman underneath, and he was fouled.
Nice body control by Berkman that time. He knew the man was on his left. He turned around and put his rear end towards him, and he had a foul.
You know, Berkman is not a great leaper, but probably in practice, he's up against so many great leapers that he has learned to make that kind of a shot, because normally he'd get a jam down his throat every day at 3 o'clock.
Steve Waite, meanwhile, the man who committed the foul, is the first in the game with 4 personal fouls. Cardinal cheerleaders watch as Berkman a chance at 2.
No no fun going back to the dormitory with Spalding written all over your forehead.
Every day.
Every day. Kids start making fun of you.
There's in your face again.
Looking for his 8-point Berkman. It's above his average. Rebound. Arnold.
That was an important miss, Dick. Excuse me. Iowa only needs the ball 3 times to tie.
1-2-2 zone. They did change the zone a little bit. They have Berkman out on top because Arnold's been hitting the jump shot. Just a subtle change, but it is a different defense than they started out in the zone.
Boyle on the side. Arnold playing with a broken right thumb all season long. You see it's taped today. It's been that way all year.
Very smart move by Denny Crum. This change in the zone really attacks the offense by Iowa better.
Hansen, and Iowa has pulled within 4. 67-63 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Hansen's the key. They're laying off him. So if he can fill it up, they're in the ball game.
Louisville with a 4-point lead. They've led by as many as 11.
Going to get a 5 count here if they don't watch out.
Into Griffith. Good save again by Darrell Griffith. It was not a good pass.
Boy, Hansen's some defender.
Foul committed by Kraftsison. Reminder, it's a big basketball weekend. UCLA, Purdue to follow. Don't forget tomorrow, the AIAW, Old Dominion versus Tennessee. Monday night, the National Collegiate Championship will be decided 9 o'clock Eastern time. And I'd like to remind you that coming up on NBC, Bruce Jenner, O.J. Simpson, Sally Struthers, Joe Namath, and others salute to the common man engaged in some common and rather uncommon sports. That's our new program called Sunday Games. That'll be April 20th, a 90-minute special here on NBC. As the NCAA begins its 75th year, concerned with its responsible role in emphasizing the importance of intercollegiate athletics in our society, it looks forward to continuing its part in the vibrant heritage of America. Highest priority goes to the service it provides to more than 800 voluntary members, acting as the true voice of college athletics. Preceding announcement furnished by the NCAA. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first semifinal game, Louisville leads Iowa 67-63. But the Hawkeyes in the last couple of minutes, gentlemen, seem to have gained the momentum.
Well, it's a good thing that Griffith's in the ball game because he's the steadying influence. They're going to try to keep the ball in his hands on the offense whenever possible. This Derek Smith has not had a great game in the last one. And this one, he had a good game, his average one, this one now. He's a good foul shooter under pressure. I feel that he will can these two.
The coaches in the second game will have one advantage over those in the first game because the rooting sections in the second game will be across the floor. In this game, Denny Crum is shouting to his team in front of the Louisville crowd, and at the other end, Lute Olson has to try to discuss basketball to his team while his Hawkeye fans are driving him crazy with their noise.
Hey, when Derek Smith comes up to this foul line, let's see if we can catch his shoes. And I'm not talking about shoes Hoffman. He wears 15.5 shoes.
Well, he's a 68% free throw shooter, and if you're Denny Crum, you'd like to have a little bit more solid. There they are.
They look like dry docks.
A big change in the lineup, too, for Iowa. They're going with a smaller team now. Kraftsison, the only big guy out there. Brookins and Boyle back in with Hansen and Arnold. So look for that pressure. Smith coolly hits the free throw. He's the cousin of Garfield Hurd of the Phoenix Suns. There's a lot of talent in that clan from Hogansville, Georgia High School.
That moves you back up to 5, Dick. This is another important one because it puts you back on the even number. But in watching him, I had about 3 or 4 games. He just seems to be a pressure player.
Misses that one.
He pinched that one off.
68-63 Louisville with 3 minutes 15 seconds left in the game.
1-2-2 zone defense with Berkman out high. Brookins, the guys that on the wings have got the shots.
Brookins, rebound, Hansen, good play, no foul.
He lost it.
Wiley Brown deflected out of bounds by Iowa.
You take a game like this, the coaches are coaching good, the players are playing good, so the referees are refereeing good.
Lute Olson Olson thought there was a foul.
I didn't think so, Dick. Here it is. Here's a replay. Let's watch.
He lost the handle right there on the way up. The ball just kind of got away from him.
I think Lute had a bad angle on that one.
Well, you grab it for everything you can at this point. Graduate of small Augsburg College in Minnesota, Lute Olson.
Here's Tony Branch in the ball game.
Number 23, Branch, a senior, with the ball.
Obviously in there for ball handling and foul shooting.
Yep, they got him in the ice the foul shot.
Now taking out Wiley Brown.
Right, they've got 3 guards in the ball game now. Of course, Griffith's great jumping ability allows him to move to the front court as he's played throughout his career sometimes.
He's free.
Jerry Eaves scores, and he is fouled, and that'll be all for Craftsison.
Hey, if I got a moment here, Dick, I like to tell a story about what a great coach Denny Crum is. Against Texas A&M, they had the game won in overtime. Branch had 2 foul shots to make. Well, there's the shot.
Here he is. He put that ball right up in Craftsison's face. Some kind of play. Now, I don't think Darrell was going to pass it to him at first. He said, hey, I don't want you in among the trees. He still made the shot. Back to the story.
Right. Now, Branch had 2 foul shots. Denny Crum told him to miss the foul shot because he didn't want to put him in the same situation as in 1975 NCAA where the kid was 28-0 and missed the shot that would have knocked UCLA out of the tournament. Now, isn't that thinking ahead? He wanted to take the pressure off the kid for the final.
Miss it now and then make all the rest of it.
Make all the rest of it.
Now, Lute Olson has been forced to make a substitution with Craftsison disqualified on his 5th foul. He left the game with 12, 10 of those in the second half.
Now, remember the lesson that Terry Holland gave you in substitution in the Ohio State-Virginia game? What we're seeing right now, Denny Crum's doing the same thing. He's putting in the bigger guys on the defensive end of the floor, and he's putting his quick guys on the offensive end of the floor.
Lute Olson was trying to call time, but his team did not see him. The play continues, 70-63 to score. Louisville with 2:20 left. Boyle, he has not scored.
Oh, that was a man's rebound.
Boy, that man went up there. He's right.
Wow. Long pass over the head of Derek Smith, and Iowa will get the ball on the turnover. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left, and the Hawkeyes face a 7-point deficit.
And he wanted the offensive players in and couldn't get them in.
But you notice Lenny didn't say a word to Eaves. He didn't make faces or yell him about the pass. That's a good coach.
Yep. Now we're going to see a man's rebound here. Oh, he just ripped that one out.
Not only from 3 Hawkeyes, but a couple of his own players.
A lot of time left. A little bit over 2 minutes. We got a 7-point spread.
Pass by Hansen. Good pass.
Hanging at home is Kenny Arnold. He's averaging 13 on the season. He has 18 today.
Nothing fancy, but he was 1 play ahead as he caught the ball in the rear. Oh, beautiful.
Derek Smith negates the basket by Arnold as he rams it home for his 9th point, and it's still Louisville by 7, and time remaining a minute 40 seconds. Arnold with the ball, playing for the injured Ronnie Lester, the star of the Hawkeyes, who had 10 points early as he and Darrell Griffith were matching point for point, basket for basket. Lester re-injured his knee and has not played since midway through the first half. You saw the Smith dunk that has given Louisville a 7-point advantage.
Ronnie Lester was watching the game on TV in the hall.
Oh, great hands. Uh-oh, look out!
Griffith had a chance at one of his patented dunks, but couldn't quite get in front of the pack.
There's 3 officials. The official waiting on that play, transition, which means getting up and down the court in one direction or the other. Watch this right here. Great hands by Griff. I thought he was going to put one away right here.
At the other end, Hansen can't hit. Rebound, Waite. Steve Waite makes it 72-67, and Lute Olson calls timeout. Time running away from Iowa. They need 5 to tie, and just a minute and 12 seconds remain. The winner will play the victor of the second game, UCLA Purdue. We return to our studios for this message.
Okay, guys, no kidding. What'd you think of my catch? Hey, first things first. 3 Michelob Lights? Michelob Light? Sure, me too. I'll have a Michelob Light.
The rich, full-bodied taste of Michelob Light. Compare it to any beer you like.
Okay, the University of Louisville Cardinals enjoying a 5-point lead over Iowa. 1 minute, 12 seconds remain. All right, Al McGuire and Billy Packer, what is Lute Olson going to try to pull out of the hat to get those 5 points erase the lead for Louisville?
Well, Lute's biggest problem, obviously, is the clock with the 1:12 left. He can't let it run too far without committing a foul. Now, Denny Crum is alternating. He's putting in his better foul shooters like Branch, his quicker ball players. They'll foul quite quickly. They'll keep pressure all the way up court. And anytime the ball touches one of the taller men, Smith's probably, they'll foul him intentionally. Also foul Burton.
Now what Denny has done, Dick, is he's changed his lineup. He's got the offensive team in the ball game right now. He's taken Wally Brown out of the ball game. He's taken McRae out of the ball game. And he's gone with, actually, he's got 4 guards in the game right now.
Tony Branch, one of them, and he quickly moves into the forecourt. Griffith, oh, what a pass. Griffith with another assist. He has a half dozen of them. And Derek Smith with a basket. We're in the final minute, and Louisville apparently is trying to represent one of the teams in the finals. Brookins connects in a hurry, and timeout Lute Olson. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're in 14 Country, WFIE-TV, Evansville.
52 seconds remain. Louisville leads Iowa by 5. We'll be right back.
Continental Mark VI for 1980 invites you to discover its 41% improvement in gasoline mileage ratings over last year. Miles ahead of even the smallest Cadillac. To explore new technology like automatic overdrive for dramatic highway mileage. To enjoy its beautiful ride. And to examine its striking new 4-door model. See your dealer now. He'll be proud to show you the new Mark VI.
Louisville leads by 5 and has the ball. 52 seconds remaining.
We're going to see the feed by Darrell Griffith. Dick, you said he probably has a half a dozen assists. He may have more than that. He just made that beautiful play, looking one way, throw it inside. Good catch, excellent pass. Louisville in control with that offensive team on the floor right now.
You know, Billy, a John Wooden Award, which is the last of the awards for the College Basketball Player of the Year. The ballots went out this week, and one of the reasons they're later than the rest, they want the tournament exposure to count in the final balloting. How would you like to pick between Mark Aguirre and Darrell Griffith as the Player of the Year? That is really a tough choice.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Ronnie Lester was 100% all year, he'd be right in there with them.
I agree.
Right now, and talking about that offensive team that Denny Crum has in the game, what he would count on is at a foul, and if there is a foul, look for him to put the defensive club back out onto the floor.
Jerry Eves ahead to Smith, 45 seconds, 44.
They've got a foul.
They do, and they're not. 40 seconds remaining. Louisville has a 5-point lead.
They've got a foul.
And they foul Griffith. Hansen finally grabs Darrell Griffith.
Now, automatically, here comes the defensive team into the game. McRae, Wally Brown go to the sidelines. Out goes Branch and Eves.
Had the pleasure, gentlemen, of flying to Indianapolis with the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden. You know, there was a time where Denny Crum and John Wooden weren't exactly friends when Denny left for Louisville, but now they are the best of friends, and Coach Wooden said, you know something, Denny Crum has been a superb coach this year. I think it's his best job ever.
Yeah, he's cool hand loop. He does his thing. He's private. He's a private type person. He likes to play golf. He likes playing gin rummy. But it looks to me, present time with 36 seconds left, that Louisville has the pole position and received the checkered flag.
That's right. Or better yet, they're going to play your old Kentucky home, and they're in the Derby. They're in the final run Monday night.
There you saw an interesting thing that Lute Olson just did. He called the 4 remaining players over to the sidelines, used the 60 seconds, which he has to get a new player in the game, to in effect get a free timeout with his 4 players. They never came off the court. Now he goes ahead and makes the substitution.
Al, it's interesting. You made the comment that Lute Olson had 1 big card. In Craftsison and Wade, he had 10 fouls. He has used all 10. Both men have fouled out. Wade leaves with 9. But at this point, he doesn't need height. He needs quickness, and he needs some turnovers, and he needs for Griffith not to make this free throw.
This is a big free throw right here. If he makes this thing, it's curtains.
You know, really, you go back to that first half, he had Boyle 0 for 7 and Brookins 2 for 8. That's what killed him.
Griffith dribbles it in. He now is 5 out of 6, and he's 2 points shy of his all-time career high of 35 points.
I would say they're in victory lane at the Indy 500.
You've been reading. 76-69 Louisville. It appears the Cardinals are going to flap their wings tonight and wait for UCLA or Purdue to decide who will oppose them for the championship. Arnold makes it 76-71 in relief of the injured Ronnie Lester. Kenny Arnold, just a sophomore from Calumet High in Chicago, has played an outstanding game and leads the Hawkeyes with 20.
You know, it's really interesting. You talk about Denny having his guys organized. The minute the timeout was called, automatically two fellas up off the bench. Hey, we're on offense. Two guys off the court. It's just like the old football to Purdue.
He's a handsome man, isn't he? He's a great moral person. He's excellent. He's just an outstanding coach. I remember when we participated against each other at Milwaukee, and he took Jerry Tarkanian's place at Long Beach.
What was your record against Big Ten teams?
Against Big Ten teams? You know, I looked that up and I forgot it. But it was good.
How about ACC teams?
Oh, ACC
You remember that one?
Got to remind you, men, we have another Big Ten team to follow. Purdue's Boilermakers, their All-American Joe Barry Carroll against Kiki Vandeweghe, the only contributing senior. No, I can't say that. James Wilkes and Kiki Vandeweghe, the seniors for UCLA. Then tomorrow, I'm anxious to sit back and watch a game as the fans do and see Old Dominion and Tennessee, the two finest teams of women in the country this year, ranked 1 and 2. Nancy Lieberman, many say she could play on a men's team. She's so outstanding. And then on Monday night, the national championship right here on NBC. It begins at 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Our most valuable player. We've had some tough choices all year long, but this may be the easiest. Shall we say it together? The MVP is Darrell Griffith, Louisville.
Louisville's living legend from the River City of Kentucky.
$1,000 from Gillette Track 2, the University of Louisville. Darrell Griffith, 34 points today. Brilliant All-American.
Last week when we had a hard time making that decision, we told everybody, we told Wally Brown that Al didn't vote for him.
Inside to Berkman, and he'll get it right back out. They don't need points. They need to kill the clock. It's down to 16-15, and a foul on Brookins. 4 fouls on Vince Brookins. At the line, Jerry Eves, a 67% free throw shooter. And here again, Denny Crum will put a big man in as he anticipates the defensive role. Griffith goes out. Oh, what a game by Darrell Griffith. He gets a standing ovation from the Louisville crowd.
I think he should get a standing ovation from the entire crowd.
I don't think anyone realized he walked out. He did it like everything else, so softly and subtly, and no one realized he left the floor.
He does everything in a low profile.
Jerry Eves connects. 77-71 Louisville.
There he is.
There's the man. We'll see you Monday night, fella.
He wasn't too smooth on taking the bottle top off. That's about the only thing he didn't do easily.
78-71. Eves now with 8 points in the game. Arnold.
Right now, you don't want any foul.
Brookins, way off the mark. Hansen.
He couldn't help it. He tried not to foul.
Wiley Brown fouled him, and it stops the clock with now 5 seconds showing. And Hansen at the line. We're going to be interviewing Denny Crum, the winning coach. We'll try to get Darrell Griffith. We are hoping to be able to locate Ronnie Lester, the great star of Iowa. Griffith back in as the Cardinals begin to give the high five as they celebrate their 32nd victory of the year. They've lost only 3. They're on their way to the finals. Louisville, despite its great basketball program and its trips into this tournament, has never gone to the final games. Well, they've made it in 1980. Try to cut the lead. 78-72. And what a tough group of Hawkeyes from Iowa. And how proud their fans must be of this team that played so well and so competitively without their star, Ronnie Lester.
Well, at the press interview yesterday, the 7 of them were up with their stand, and they just acted like perfect gentlemen. You were there with me, Dick.
That's right. You know, let's just reflect again, Al, the importance of Lester to this Iowa team. With counting today's game, without Lester, they were a 500 team, 8-8. With him, they were 15-1. So it's just not an ordinary loss when that man went out of the lineup with a re-injured knee.
As I said at the top of the show, I was down at San Juan, and I watched those 3 great guards were playing on the Bobby night where they won the gold in the Pan Am games. And Ronnie Lester, in my opinion, was the best. He's top shelf. He goes through the sound barriers. He's tops on the chart. And whatever pro team ends up with him, got a true gentleman.
Denny Crum, his assistant coaches on the sidelines, Bill Olson, Jerry Jones, Wade Houston, as they celebrate Crum's biggest win. You know, he had a great team in '75. Many felt he should have won it then, and he ran into John Wooden in his finale. And somehow the Wizard pulled one out of the hat, got Crum in overtime and defeated him, and then went on to win in that memorable game in San Diego. And Denny Crum, his assistant for so many years at UCLA, is going to the finals himself this year. Griffith misses, but Derek Smith got the rebound, and he was fouled. And Smith, with 2 seconds left, will go to the line for a pair.
Nice feeling out there for the winners. And the losers feel bad. There'll be some tears in the locker room after the game. But come Monday or Tuesday, then they realize, hey, I got to the Final Four. That's what it's all about. It's not to win the championship, in my opinion. I know in the coaches, to get the monkey off your back is to get to the Final Four. I once said, Dick, that a coach shouldn't be allowed to come to the Final Four twice.
Even if he doesn't win, you only get one chance to go.
You only get one time there, and that's all she wrote.
Now Griffith comes out, and the entire crowd here at Market Square Arena. Griffith going down to shake hands with the Iowa team, Lute Olson. There he is, an All-American in action, and the crowd applauds.
Dick, you didn't have any pit stops today.
Oh, what a game. 34 points for Darrell Griffith. Derek Smith tacks on a little frosting. 79-72.
There's another high five.
They lead the league in that, don't they?
Yeah.
Will it be Purdue or UCLA that plays Louisville on Monday night?
Will the Rockets sink the aircraft carrier?
Ron Foster against Joe Barry Carroll. The freshman against the senior. And out comes Derek Smith, 43. Wiley Brown, Roger Berkman embrace their colleague. And with 2 seconds left, it's academic. Kenny Arnold's final shot. And the game is over. The University of Louisville, led by Darrell Griffith, are in the finals. 80-72 over Iowa. The focal point of the Louisville celebration, but from his actions you can see that the senior is not going to exude all of that joy yet. He still has one game to go. Denny Crum's Cardinals will be here again Monday night.
There's a smile. Inside they're smiling.
Griffith finishing with 34. Suds Bailey with the other final totals. 20 points for Kenny Arnold to lead the Hawkeyes. Lester had 10 in the first half before he was injured. Brookins with 14. Franciscan with 12. And Louisville, along with the 34 from Griffith, got 14 from McRae, 13 from Smith, and 7 from Berkman. Okay, the winners are with Billy Packer and Brian Gumble.
Okay, Dick Enberg, thank you very much. We are indeed here with winning coach Denny Crum and a 34-point effort by Darrell Griffith. Denny, let me start with you. You finally get to coach the season's final game.
Well, I've been a head coach 9 years. This is our third trip, but we had never been able to get out of the semifinals before. But I guess maybe this is our turn. This is a real young team, and they play hard as anybody I've ever coached, and it's a real credit to them that they got here.
I was going to ask you, why this team? You've had so many talented clubs. Why has this one been able to do what no other one has?
I think more than anything else, Brian, it's the fact that this team has been more together. They love each other. They play with each other. They're all unselfish. A guy like Griffith could get 50 a game also leads us in steals. He leads us in block shots. He leads us in assists. When you got a player like that and you got a lot of other players that hustle and play hard, it's really a thrill to coach them.
It was indeed a purely golden effort by Darrell, wasn't it, Billy?
Thanks, Brian. Well, just an absolute super game on your part. We talked yesterday about the leadership you've given this club, and you started right off hot early.
Well, we wanted to get the tempo. That's our type of game, up and down the court real fast. And I thought that I had to, be exposed at the beginning so everybody else could be exposed. Even the other team reacted to it, so it got them to our floor of the game, and it was to our advantage.
When you start the ball game and you see they have a guy on you like 6'1" or 6'2", do you just automatically want to take him in there and go over him with your jump shot?
Well, yeah, I figured that I can, you know, cause him some troubles, have him worrying on defense. You know, if I take it right to him at the beginning of the game, I kind of get to his mind a little bit. You know, he'll say, well, hey, he's going to take it right to me right at the beginning of the game. And I think that, you know, it's a psychological part. It's two things against him, you know.
You know, you had the super game today, but I saw when Ronnie Lester got hurt, you went over and said, hey, I hope you can get back in the game in the second half. He just didn't make it.
Right. You know, I hate to see Ronnie get hurt. He's a hell of a ball player. It probably been a different game if he was in there, but that's basketball.
That's
I hope he recovers.
Good luck in the big one. You've been super, son.
Thanks a lot.
Brian?
Okay, Billy, thank you. Denny, one final question, and don't give me the diplomatic answer. Monday night, who do you think you'd match up better against, UCLA or Purdue?
Well, UCLA is more our size and age. We really have a tough time with those bigger guys. A guy like Joe Barry-Carroll, we don't have anybody near that big. That's why we need a center recruiting. We can get us a center to play with this bunch. We'll be tough. But I don't know. I'd say the game's going to be a toss-up, but I think we'd have a better chance against someone our own size.
Denny, again, congratulations. We'll see you Monday night.
Thank you.
Your opposite number, Lute Olson, is over with Dick Enberg right now. Dick?
All right, Brian. Lute Olson, who brought his Hawkeyes out of the Midlands into the Final Four, and I know, Coach, it was a great thrill to get here, and yet at this moment, the ambivalence, the disappointment that you lost your star and lost the game.
Well, you know, our kids have been battlers all year, Dick. They've been written off a lot of times. Ronnie did get back for our final game of the season. I think they felt, and I felt, that we would have a shot at anybody with him in the lineup. They battled through two tournaments out east, and I thought they had a shot here. And of course, when Ronnie went out with, what, 8 minutes or whatever to go in the first half, it put a crimp on us. We couldn't attack the press the way we wanted. When they went to his zone, we don't do things nearly as well when he's not penetrating the gaps.
One quick question, Coach.
Against the zone, I thought when they went to a zone with the lead, they tapped you out because you didn't have the outside shooting.
Well, that's true. The outside shooting comes about, though, for us a lot with we'll set screens up high for Ronnie to operate off the screens to bring two people together on him, and then we're able to get the ball to the open wingman or get it stuck inside. The other thing that hurt us in the zone, Craftsison fouled out. We're a much better team against the zone with Craftsison in. He posts up better inside of that zone.
Can I ask one more question?
Very quickly.
How about your fans in Iowa?
Well, they're the greatest anywhere, Al. That's the reason that it was difficult for us to even think about leaving a year ago. They come here and holler. We go home after the Eastern Regional. Over 15,000 people there at midnight on statewide television to watch those kids, and we really appreciate that kind of support.
We appreciate your taking time, Coach.
Thank you, Dick.
See you again next year. Lute Olson, head coach of the University of Iowa. They've been eliminated by Louisville, 80-72. Let's go back to Brian Gumbel.
Okay, Dick Enberg, thank you very much. As we prepare to watch UCLA and Purdue, interesting bit of irony. Exactly 11 years ago today, UCLA defeated Purdue for the national title, and the site, Louisville. Who will Louisville get on Monday night? We're going to find out. We'll talk about that game following these messages from your local station.
Skyscraper from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, helped the Cats to another great season, stunning opponents with his grace and accuracy from outside. Bowie also powerful inside, collected 8 rebounds a game and blocked 73 shots. And Ralph Sampson, University of Virginia, played as big as expected. Sampson, 7 feet 4 inches tall, led the Cavaliers to the NIT title with an incredible mixture of skills. Sampson challenging on defense, tossed in a variety of shots on offense. 19 years old from Harrisonburg, Virginia. He was a devastating player all season long. There it is, our NBC first-team all-freshman, Thomas of Indiana, Kellogg, Ohio State, Stepanovich, Missouri, Bowie, Kentucky, and Ralph Sampson, University of Virginia. Hey, a great thrill to nominate those outstanding players and recognition for their universities and their college coaches and teammates. And we're pleased that we have 2 of those freshman potential All-Americans with us here today. Billy Packer has the big guy from Virginia.
Well, I have Ralph Sampson with me. Ralph, first of all, the nation wants to congratulate you. MVP of the NIT. You led your team to the championship. It's been quite a year for 1 year at the University of Virginia.
Thanks. I think we had a pretty good year, and everything went well during the end, and we played like we're supposed to.
You know, you were talking about just watching his first game, Ralph. Ronnie Lester, a guy you played with as a teammate in the Pan Am Games. You said he'd be a little different if he had played in that first one.
I think so. Ronnie was hurt, and he got hurt in the first half of the game, and without him in the game, they just couldn't get it going.
Well, we watched you play all year long. Super NIT final. Certainly one of the premier big men of all time. Ralph Sampson, University of Virginia. Ralph, thank you.
And with Al McGuire, another member of our first-team all-freshman team from the Midlands, Missouri Tiger.
Yep. Steve Stepanovich. Steve, I watched you play many times. I know many schools are after you throughout the country. Who did you style your game after? How did you get so good?
Well, that's hard to say, but my favorite player has always been Dave Collins. I've been watching Dave Collins ever since I can remember, and I guess you can say that's the player I style my game after.
How about in the recruiting? How many colleges came after you?
Well, you know, that's hard to say. I would say somewhere around 150 schools or so.
What is your dream in basketball? What are you looking for eventually?
Well, I think every college player's goals are to reach the Final Four, and my goals are to reach that.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
And, of course, the men who coach for the first time in the college ranks, head coach, are also honored by NBC. Bobby Duquette of St. Peter's, the Peacocks, and a man you're going to see shortly, Larry Brown, his first year as head coach of the UCLA Bruins. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Steve Stepanovich, Ralph Sampson. We'll look forward to seeing you fellows again next year on NBC. And now let's go over to Brian Gumbel.
Okay, Dick, thank you much. Interesting pair of bookends. We're going to come back to talking UCLA and Purdue. We'll get to that following these messages, for which we return you to our studio.
In the years just ahead, America will go to sea for electric power. Already, train company know-how can help convert warm seawater and the shock of cold water 3,000 feet down into a gas to drive a turbine to generate electricity. This sea power may save other kinds of energy you and I will need. Train for energy fitness.
Here's to good friends.
You did it. You bought the place. Danny, you own it.
Oh, I don't own it. The bank does.
See, I'm just looking after him. Poor guy. The least we could do is buy him a steak and a beer.
Hey, I'm management now. The least you can do is buy me a steak and a Lowenbrow.
When you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Hey, well, what do you think, guys? Does the place seem better?
Daddy, feels better.
Billy and I are now joined by one of the great tacticians in all of college basketball. That is, of course, Bobby Knight of Indiana, a man who was eliminated from this tournament by a Purdue club that we're about to see. Bob, let me...
You bring up a lot of great things to start off the show, Brian.
Let me start by asking you, Bob, can UCLA contain a Joe Barry Carroll with a front line as short as they have?
Well, I don't think the size of the front line is as important as how it's positioned. I think positioning from UCLA's inside defensive point of view is going to be extremely important in this ball game. I think they've got to be able to front Carroll from the perimeter and keep him off the board from behind. And if they don't do that, I don't care what the size involved is, they're going to have all kinds of problems with Carroll.
Before I turn over to Billy, because I know he's chomping at the bit, one quick question. Can they afford to let Joe Barry get his 35 or 40 and still beat him?
No, I don't think there's any way. I think if Carroll scores 25 points or better, Purdue will definitely win.
Billy?
We got another Al McGuire here. Al says if he gets 25 shots, they win. He eventually gets 16 and they win anyway. So
we've held him to 7 or 8 and he's won anyhow. So
Bobby, you know, you've won the national championship and the NIT championship. You're a defensive-minded coach. I watched that first ball game, and Darrell Griffith gets out of the box so early. How do you stop these great scores early in the ball game so you can get some consistency?
Well, I think one thing that's really important with an outstanding perimeter scorer is that you double team him. I think you've got to go at him from the rest of the 4 people on offense to make him worry about something else. If you're coming down the floor, Billy, with the ball, and you're able to shoot it, and I don't send somebody out after you, then, you know, you get a little confidence. But if I send Brian out after you from the other side of the court, then you begin to look where the next guy is coming from. And I think maybe it sets things out of whack or balance just a little bit, and I believe that's very important against one-on-one players.
You talked to me earlier about the defensive intensity in the game. Did you think it was there in that game?
Well, I think the intensity at this kind of play is a little bit different than you get sometimes during the season. Like the defenses of both clubs, although Louisville came out in full court press, but it was not full court pressure. And they dropped back, and it was a sagging, jamming defense for both teams, I thought.
See, fans, his veins aren't out all
today, Brian. Billy, Bobby, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it. Another great coach is over with Dick and Al. Let's switch over there, guys.
All right, Brian. Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosiers were eliminated by Purdue's Boilermakers, and the team playing Purdue, UCLA, knocked out DePaul's Ray Meyer in that first round, and it was a terrible shock for you.
Well, we didn't play well enough to win, Dick, and UCLA just beat us. No excuses. I just wish them well. There are a lot of nice people at UCLA.
Coach, how about next year? You're recruiting, and also how about Mark Aguirre? There's rumors around that he might be turning pro.
Well, I've talked to him several times. It would have to be a very fine financial offer for him to turn. I'd say right now there's probably about 75 chance that he's be going back at DePaul next year. And Al and Dick, if he's back, maybe we'll be back here.
Has Chicago got over their heartbreak?
No, I still think they're still crying. Of course, we went along pretty well last year, and we thought we'd do a little better in the tournament. We didn't expect to win it, but we thought we'd win 1 or 2 games anyway, and that didn't materialize. So,
you think 10 more years, Coach?
Al, I don't know. I go from year to year. I'm not wearing down. I feel pretty good. These young fellas are keeping me young, and also winning keeps you young.
No explanation, just who do you like, UCLA or Purdue?
I thought Purdue was the big guy, and but my heart is with UCLA.
Oh, there he goes. That sounds like a McGuire answer. Thank you, Coach. We'll look forward to seeing you next year.
I've been hanging around with McGuire too long. Thank you.
Ray Meyer, head coach at DePaul University. Now let's go back to Brian.
Okay, Dick, thank you. Interestingly enough, everybody seems to be worrying about poor little UCLA against Purdue. Yet as you look around here, you keep on seeing UCLA victims. Ray Meyer is one. He's down on the floor. And as we look over here in the first row, Kelvin Ramsey of Ohio State is sitting there. Certainly UCLA has convinced some people that they belong. Let's take a look at our first game highlights. Louisville a winner over Iowa by a final count of 80-72. Certainly early on in today's ball game, the story was one Darrell Griffith. He hit 18 of Louisville's first 22 points. This one right here jumped them out to an early 14-12 lead. There didn't seem much they could do to stop Griffith. They put Kenny Arnold on him for a while, tried Kevin Boyle for a while, but it didn't work. Darrell Griffith went where he wanted, did what he wanted, and Louisville opened up a 5-point lead. Meanwhile, for Iowa, Steve Waite was working hard inside, along with Kraft Sisson and Boyle, managed to get the job done, and Iowa hung tough. But on this play, Ronnie Lester went down in a heap. His injured knee, apparently re-injured, he went to the locker room, and for Lute Olson, it was bound to be a very, very long afternoon. When they came out for the second half, Dr. Junkenstein continued his efforts. He started to go crazy, and Louisville opened up their biggest margin of the game, a 10-point lead. When Poncho Wright hit that jumper, Louisville fans knew they had something going. Iowa made one last run with a Hanson steal and a Brookins stuff coming right here. You'll see Brookins. He will catch Darrell Griffith out of the corner of his eye, and knowing Darrell's jumping ability, he is not going to lay this one up. Instead, it's with the jam. But it was the last time Hawkeye fans really had reason to cheer. Rodney McCray with a pin right here typified a tough defense by Louisville down the stretch, and when Darrell Griffith closed it out, it was on to Monday night for Louisville. And so, Griffith and the Louisville Cardinals are into Monday night's final, but who will their opponent be? It could be the Boilermakers, it could be the Bruins. We're going to find out, but first, let's take a commercial break.
I'm fixing up your house, Bozo, with tough paint this time. Right, Dad?
Lucite's plenty tough. It resists peeling and cracking.
How come?
For one thing, it's got mica.
Mica?
Mm-hmm. Mica is a mineral that reinforces the paint by forming overlapping plates to help make a tough seal. So it resists peeling and cracking.
He means Lucite lasts.
Now, for every gallon of Lucite and every can of spray enamel you buy, get a check from DuPont. Good for any merchandise in the store.
Light, right? Wrong. I want natural light.
Hey, you switched. I thought you were enamored with that other light beer.
Man, I think natural light tastes better. That's why I switched.
Right, and there's nothing artificial in this less filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
Hey, I can dig it. And in fact, natural light tastes so good, it makes me want to sing. Oh.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
On NBC's Sports World, see the top 2 women's teams battle it out in live action.
Been a running argument all year long as to just who was the player in the nation. Many people said Darrell Griffith. Certainly with his performance on this floor already, he has established his credentials. Now we're going to get to see Joe Barry Carroll. He's 7 feet 1 inch. He leads Purdue, and the UCLA Bruins figure to be much, much quicker. But will they be able to climb the mountain? That is the Boilermakers. We also have a story at a different level, and that's the coaching level. Lee Rose of Purdue is the only coach to make it back to the Final Four in the past 4 years. He got to this point before with the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, before losing to a Marquette team that went on to win it all. And as for UCLA, Larry Brown, in just his first year, has climbed a mountain, and he tries to take the final step towards an improbable dream. We'll see him try to advance that right after this commercial break.
Reading is thinking and learning and growing.
When his community called, John Hillenbrand served on the hospital board and the Mayor's Committee on Crime. When his state called, John Hillenbrand served 4 governors as chairman of the Department of Natural Resources. John Hillenbrand has worked for people all his life, not for money or votes, but because he cares about his family, his neighbors, and his state. John Hillenbrand, the experience a governor needs, the integrity the people want. Cast your vote for John Hillenbrand.
Fighting. Thrilling.
Oh, gosh.
Spectacular.
Let's start the Family Feud.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's second game is between the Bruins of UCLA, champion of the West Regional, and the Boilermakers of the University of Purdue, champions of the Northeast Regional. Introducing the starting lineups for today's game. From UCLA at a forward, number 55, a 6'8" senior from Los Angeles, California, Kiki Vanderway. For Purdue at a forward, number 45, at a forward, a 6'7" senior from Chicago, Illinois, Arnett Coleman. At a forward for UCLA, number 35, a 6'7" senior from Los Angeles, California, James Wilkes. For Purdue, at a forward, number 33, a 6'5" junior from East Chicago, Indiana, Drake Morris. At center for UCLA, number 11, a 6'6" sophomore from DeRidder, Louisiana, Mike Sanders. At center for Purdue, number 22, a 7'1" senior from Denver, Colorado, Joe Barry Carroll. At a guard for UCLA, number 14, a 6'3" freshman from Pasadena, California, Michael Holton. At a guard for Purdue, number 11, a 6'5" sophomore from San Antonio, Texas, Keith Edmondson. At a guard for UCLA, number 10, a 6'1" freshman from New Britain, Connecticut, Rod Foster. And at a guard for Purdue, number 20, a 6'2" junior from Lebanon, Indiana, Brian Walker. The UCLA head coach, Larry Brown, and the Purdue head coach, Lee Rose.
Both men enjoying immediate success. Lee Rose in his second year at Purdue. Larry Brown his initial year at UCLA. And here they are meeting in the semifinals. The Bruins against the Boilermakers. The opening tip-off in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for the main event. Your Ford dealer is proud to present the winners from Ford. Extra values like Granadas with special features at a very special sticker price. Popular new Fairmonts in 2- and 4-door models. And here comes our tough one. The Explorer pickup, specially equipped for extra value. Drive home a winner during the main event 1980 at your Ford dealers now.
Putting in more gas and putting out more money? A tune-up with Champion spark plugs can improve your fuel economy. It's like getting more gas in your tank and more money in your bank. Tune up, America, to save gas.
popcorn, have the hot dog, little Coca-Cola. Now dream of the days you might have the pom-pom.
She grew up too quickly. Faded right in. Beautiful shot, fellas.
Here we go. UCLA in blue. There's their starting five. And the Boilermakers with the man in the middle, number 22. The All-American Joe Barry Carroll. And we're underway. Carroll controlling to Arnett Holman, 45. Steve Walker doesn't score much. Brian Walker, rather, his brother Steve. This is Drake Morse. He's Chicago, Indiana. Holman, and it's out of bounds to UCLA. Be interesting to watch how Lee Rose's big man, Carroll, is defensed by the Bruins. Here comes UCLA the other way. Rod Foster and Michael Holton, two freshman guards, have brought UCLA to the Final Four.
Doesn't surprise me. Joe Barry Carroll on Wilkes. That means Carroll's going to try to help out all the other players playing that one-man zone under the basket.
Wilkes around Carroll to score. James Wilkes, a senior. He played very well in the upset of DePaul.
That showed me something right there. He's going to force Carroll to have to play defensively. Keep him honest.
High lob into Morris, left alone to score. It's 2-2. So they cleared out Carroll, and Drake Morris was alone.
You know what happened there, Dick? Kiki Vanderweer's looking to help out, and took his concentration off his own man.
Vandeweghe, not there. Sanders, Carroll. It's interesting that Mike Sanders at 6'6" is far and away the top rebounder in the Final Four. A dozen more rebounds than Carroll. Edmondson to Morris, into Carroll, and with the hands, James Wilkes on the back of Joe Barry Carroll.
You cannot play him back at Joe Barry Carroll. If Wilkes stays back there, he'll be sitting on the bench by the end of the second quarter. Watch, you can't play on his rear end like that. You must play his thighs, one side or the other.
You know what's also happening right there? It gives him such a big target to catch the ball.
Morris, tough luck on that shot. It's Michael Holton ahead to the Rocket. Rod Foster. Foster is fouled by Walker of Purdue.
The key to the game, I believe, as far as Purdue goes, is that Edmondson and Morris must hit from the outside. If they don't hit from the outside, UCLA will slough off and pack in around Joe Barry Carroll.
Larry Brown at midseason, his Bruins were 8-6. Sports Illustrated on the cover of the Bruins and Ruins. Many people felt that UCLA would be a long time coming back. I think you even made a comment on our telecast, Al, that it would be a long, long time. And what a surprise.
It looked like a drought. It looked like it was the beginning of the Titanic.
Rod Foster, the best free throw shooter for UCLA, 84%.
Boy, he has an unbelievable tough release. He has that ball right around his waist. Most good foul shooters will get the ball up around eye level. Now watch him bring that ball from the waist right up in front of his eyes. Very seldom you see a good free throw shooter do that.
3-2, UCLA just underway. Louisville has eliminated Iowa 80-72 in the first game. Kevin Stallings, number 32, is in the game for Purdue. That's an early substitution by Lee Rose. First foul, and the man sits down.
Automatic substitution. You get a foul, you sit down on your first one.
That is for Purdue. Holman to Morris. Morris on the wing. He's a key to the game for Purdue. James Wilkes came up with it. I believe he was hit in the eye. Yes, in the left eye. He was having trouble.
Now the referee ought to give him a free time there. Wilkes should have gone ahead and stayed down in the backcourt.
Vandeweghe, averaging nearly 20 a game. Wilkes, nice move on Carroll.
Oh, Arnett Holman.
And the foul is on Wilkes.
Boy, Arnett Holman is an incredible defensive player. Now, he was 2 men away from this original offensive player. Watch him come across the lane. Now, there's the charge, but watch Holman. Whoa. Vicious. He really is. I mean, he blocks him and he hurts you. Here's the same play. No, sir. No basket on this play. The ball was just... No.
Philly, baby.
Good block.
3-2. UCLA leads, but James Wilkes has 2 fouls. Daryl Allens is going to come in for UCLA.
That ball was at zenith, its apex.
Edmondson connects. Sophomore Keith Edmondson from San Antonio, Texas, and Purdue is in front for the first time, 4-3.
Here's what Purdue does all the time. They take their big guards and put them down in low against guys like Foster. And they have an awful tough time handling a guy like Edmondson, who at 6'5", plays a lot bigger than that.
Defensive pressure forced a turnover. You saw Wilkes come in, 35, sit down next to his coach, Larry Brown. Daryl Allens, a senior, number 32, big guy, not very tall, is now playing Carroll.
He has
Push off,
good ball.
He has the muscle, Dick, to neutralize some of Carroll's ability, but not at all.
Greg Morris has his first foul.
That's the second time Morris posted down low and tried to get the lob over Vanderway.
UCLA trailing Purdue 4-3 with 2.5 minutes gone. And Morris comes out now after committing his first foul. Steve Walker, the older brother of Brian. Steve Walker, number 20 in the game for Purdue. Mike Sanders outside to Foster. Lightning quick as Foster, can't hit it. And Hallman rebound to Walker.
Joe Barry Carroll really hustling down court.
There's Carroll. Edmondson. Edmondson guns. Holman. And Mike Scarce is fouled by Rod Foster. Mike Scarce, a freshman, went to the same high school as his coach Lee Rose in Lexington, Kentucky. Non-shooting foul.
You notice Purdue, although they have so many different ways to get the ball to Joe Barry Carroll, early in the game they don't force that. They let everybody else get involved in the offense, and it's been very successful.
Edmondson comes out, and Roosevelt Barnes, 44 in for Purdue, played rarely this year, scored only 12 points all season. Mike Scarce, not there. Foster with a rebound.
Scarce will take that long bomb from outside.
Darrell Allums to Foster to Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe from 20, not there. Rebound Carroll. Walker.
I think Purdue's jerking around too much. Put Joe Barry Carroll down low and get him the ball.
Carroll double team. There he is.
There you go.
And a foul on Allums, number 32 of UCLA.
Another thing you got to remember, when you're feeding a center, a man in the middle, you must get up to your defensive man. It's easy to pass in. But if your defensive man drifts off you, it's very difficult to feed a center.
You notice how Joe Barry Carroll rolled into position. Now, they're trying to get help from the weak side, but when he has that big a target and you're caught right behind him, it's almost impossible to handle.
Edmondson and Morris out briefly are both back in the game now for Purdue.
Zone defense now by UCLA on the out of bounds.
Winner plays Louisville Monday night for the national championship. 4-3, Purdue leads, early going. Played nearly 4 minutes. Both teams a bit cold offensively.
Looking for the lob.
That's Morris, good outside shooter. Rebound Sanders, 6-6 from
Vandeweghe.
Vandeweghe wide open. And UCLA leads 5-4. Vandeweghe's first bucket.
You know, he doesn't do it pretty like, but he gets the job done. My brother Dick thinks that Kiki Vandeweghe is definitely a first-round draft choice high.
Now it's man-to-man. They only play the zone on the out of bounds.
Carroll inside, can't hit. Hallman.
Oh, that was a goal
It appeared that all Allums hit that ball above the rim.
No question. Purdue's offensive structure, Al, is really broken down. They don't have any fluid motion at all in it.
Allums got Carroll in the air, but he traveled in the process.
We're going to take a quick look at this goaltending call, Billy.
All right, here it goes. Just a double pump. Ball off the board. Hit the backboard, hit the rim, still above the cylinder. Taken away. Should have been 2 points.
UCLA with a 1-point lead. Nearly 5 minutes have been played. Inside, Carroll knocked away. It went to Edmondson. Blocked.
Beautiful play. Sanders is so quick off his feet. That's why they're beating all these big, heavy baseline teams, because of their quickness. When I went after a ball play, the only thing I wanted to know was he quick. And if you're quick, you can play basketball no matter what size you are.
Vandeweghe against Hallman. Double team. Holden underneath, and he scores. Michael Holden, 6'3" from Pasadena, California. Freshman, his first points. 7-4 UCLA. High. Morris against Vandeweghe. Vandeweghe let him get the baseline.
Boy, that was some kind of play by Morris. I thought he was going to fall down, and I think he would have if he hadn't leaned into Vandeweghe.
Nice shot. He put it up with his left hand off the glass.
Allums from Vandeweghe. Sanders and Holton, the quarterback of this UCLA team. Foster, a quick release, way off the mark. Morris the other way on the break, and Foster from behind made the steal.
He can pick up the ball, he just can't dribble it again. Holton will learn, he's just a freshman.
Good point, Sully.
7-6, UCLA with the lead and the ball. Michael Sanders not there. Holton with the big eyes. Foster, 10-footer. 9-6, UCLA. Foster has 3.
The key to Purdue right now is to get back in their offense. They're trying to do too many solo things out there.
Just put Carroll low and give him the ball like that. That's all she wrote.
And Carroll, Joe Barry Carroll connects 9.
Why make a complicated game out of an easy game?
Well, what that does is put so much pressure on UCLA defensively. You saw that time 2 guys trying to double from the weak side.
Joe Barry Carroll's first basket. Sanders to Vandeweghe. Good D by Sanders. It's 11-8. Vandeweghe has 4.
Purdue's losing their continuity on defense. They have to regroup.
The other thing I liked about both of those passes, both by Sanders and Foster earlier, they really zipped them on across there to Vandeweghe.
Steve Walker with Foster. Drake Morris inside to Carroll over Allums. Oh, he's a good shooter.
When he gets a rhythm, he gets a bounce, he's a rhythm shooter.
Here's a full-court zone press now by Purdue.
Carroll is averaging 26 points a game in the tournament. He has 4 today, and Vandeweghe went right through Carroll.
Yeah, he put it right in his face that time. Kiki looks like he come to play today.
Yes, he did.
6 points for Vandeweghe. UCLA leads by 3. We played nearly 8 minutes. Carroll outside with Allums. That's Edmondson on the side. Short, but Morris all alone for the rebound. Drake Morris, he has 6 points.
Lack of defensive boxing out that time. He ended up getting a garbage basket inside.
There's Carroll back in the one-man zone underneath the basket. Now that he's got Allums, he's going to help everybody out. Let Allums shoot a few times.
Allums doesn't have a bad shot from 15 feet out.
Rod Foster, not there. Rebound Morris. Purdue with a chance to take the lead. Whoops. Foster slipping. So Morris jumps off to Edmondson. Over Sanders. Not there. Allums rebounds. Ahead to Holton. 2-on-1 with Vandeweghe. And Vandeweghe has his 4th lay-in in the game.
Yep. And surprisingly, they open in close. Usually he's drilling them in from 18 feet in.
But he's getting out on the break. He's filling the lane beautifully as a big forward.
UCLA leads by 3, 11 minutes, 14 seconds, and a foul on the drive.
Here we're going to see, talking about filling the lane. Vandeweghe is coming in behind Walker. Walker doesn't even realize he's there till the last moment. Excellent play by Kiki Vandeweghe. That shows he's really hustling. The guy that'll fill that lane.
Not a bad pass.
I thought the pass was the key to the basket.
Right. Timeout, 11 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first half. UCLA 15, Purdue 12. We return you now to our studios for this message.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day...
this compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Light beer, Mick?
No, I switched to natural light.
You switched? A Bronx bummer like you switched.
Yeah, natural light tastes better to me.
And there's nothing artificial in this less filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
Let's just say natural light's got the taste I swing for. Struck out again.
Hey, don't worry about it, Mick. It's a doubleheader.
Thanks. I'll get them this time.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
On BJ and the Bear, a new episode at a new time. BJ's rig is stolen.
I want that truck back.
So he goes undercover as a hijacker to find it. Saturday.
As we mentioned before, it was UCLA that defeated Purdue 11 years ago today, 92-72 in the national championship game. Joe Barry Carroll, the leading scorer for Purdue, the All-American center. He'll be a consensus All-American.
What makes him so good is has great hands. He gets mobile up and down the court. But he gets most of the publicity on this team. He has a great supporting cast out there. And sometimes it's hard to handle for college kids, especially the ones that are 18, 19 years of age. Their sphere of influence a lot of times is, hey, how come you don't get any publicity? But to be a championship team, then normally the publicity should go towards the senior.
Here you have Gig Sims in the game. Now, Sims can afford to foul and lean and push. Larry Brown going to try to use those fouls. There you go.
Number 31, Sims, who has played sparingly this year. He was a starter as a sophomore and a junior, has been bothered by a foot injury and has been used sparingly.
He's truly a forward. He's not a center. He doesn't have the physical strength. And it's been unfair to him for the last 4 years or 3 years to play center at UCLA.
Team fouls are important, gentlemen. 6-2 now. Sims blocks Carroll. 6 fouls against UCLA, 2 against Purdue. Carroll, and there's Edmondson, loses the ball to Vandeweghe.
I think it's a good move by Larry Brown to keep throwing those centers at Joe Barry Carroll. Not only wearing the foul situation okay, but it really has to wear him down a little bit.
Number 30.
What's going to happen? They're in the 1-and-1 now.
Sims,
and
that's
Carroll's
not the shot they want him to take.
That's right. Joe Barry Carroll's not going to guard Gig Sims out there.
Darren Day is in for UCLA, a freshman, number 30. That's Day now defending. Carroll over Sims, not there.
Out of his range. He can make that shot, but not at this time in the game. Is it necessary?
UCLA with a 3-point lead, and we're approaching the midpoint. 10:03, 10:02, 10:01. Halfway mark of the first half.
Dick, we talked about freshmen. How about UCLA? They start 2 freshmen in the backcourt, and then they come back to the first substitutions of freshmen. Right
that
there,
was Day. Dick Sims gets his own rebound after Scarce made the block.
Oh, sloppy play.
Vandeweghe luckily came up with it for UCLA, and then he almost threw it away.
Little sloppy right here.
You know, when Joe Barry Carroll took that shot from the outside, one of the things you don't want a big man to have is an outside shot.
Sims unable to hit as he went around Carroll. Scarce got the rebound for Purdue, trailing by 3. Good outside shooter, but he misses everything on that one. Out of bounds to UCLA.
Let me explain what I just said about a big man not having an outside shot. If he has the outside shot, he starts playing out there. A big man should play within 3 feet of the basket. That's where the games are won and lost.
Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're in 14 country, WFIE-TV, Evansville.
39-year-old Larry Brown, head coach of the UCLA Bruins, who lead Purdue, and their head man Lee Rose 15-12. 9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. This is Dick Enberg with Al McGuire, Billy Packer. Market Square Arena, the scene in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. Louisville has already defeated Iowa 80-72 in the first game, and they're winning this one to meet the Cardinals in the finals on Monday night. Sanders is fouled. Number 33, Drake Morris, picks up his second foul. First Boilermaker with more than one, and only the 3rd team foul on Purdue.
Hey, Dick, I was talking about playing within 3 feet of the basket. Al, they've widened the lane since the days you played. If a guy stays within 3 feet of the basket, it's 3 seconds, and you never get a chance to shoot.
I mean, flash in and flash out.
I'm just trying to get up.
What makes a good big man, Billy? Mobility, good hands, you know,
guts.
And know when to take a break. 9:05 remaining in the half. UCLA 15 and Purdue 12.
It's not easy to make a breakfast as good as Denny's Grand Slam breakfast. The eggs have got to be cooked in butter in just the right size pans. The sausage links have got to be juicy and tender. The bacon crisp and sizzling. The buttermilk pancakes hot and fluffy, served with hot syrup and whipped butter. Oh, sure, you could probably make it at home this good, too, but why bother? Especially since you can get it at Denny's for only $1.99. Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food.
I was a secret money worrier until Connecticut General showed me how to reach financial independence in my lifetime. CG certainly came through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
My successful business became more successful after Connecticut General helped me work out a cash flow strategy. CG sure came through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Call us. We'll come through for you, too.
Oh, what's in your love? Here's your miracle. Stand up and fight. This is it.
There are a lot of incredible incredible records in sport, but one man has a record that people in college basketball admire so greatly. John Wooden of UCLA, his teams in tournament play won 38 in a row. That's against the very best teams in the country, and Wooden's Bruins won 38 in a row. His successor, 3 coaches apart, Larry Brown in his first year. Brown has acknowledged Wooden's role. He's tried to maintain the tradition of the UCLA program, and the two men, Wooden and Brown, have become very close.
One of the reasons UCLA got off bad this season, in my opinion, is that Larry Brown was trying to please too many people and do too many things.
Backdoor to Holden, and Vandaway tips it in. Vandaway has 10 points, and UCLA enjoys its largest lead.
And Coach Wooden liked that play.
And that's his wife next to him, Mel, and next to him is Iva.
And you're talking about Coach Wooden, a Purdue All-American. He's got mixed emotions about this game, but obviously rooting for UCLA.
Well, we're at Indiana here, and the only thing Coach Wooden didn't win when he coached in high school, he didn't win the Indiana High School Championship.
Taken away, Holton, and then Holton traveled with it.
Boy, that triple team by UCLA defense, they really showed you they're going to get the ball to Joe Barry Carroll, but he's got to pump it back on out. Here's a lob. That lob went to a guard. Shows you what kind of leaping abilities in the backcourt. And there's Kiki Vandaway with the tap, left-handed. Excellent play.
Joe Barry Carroll is averaging 22 a game. The best shooter. Oh, Edmondson to Carroll. Carroll again. And Holton at 6'3", battling with him. Carroll wins the fight
and kicks it back out wisely.
They're like PT boats attacking an aircraft carrier.
Well, you love that seamanship vernacular, don't you?
I tell you, Allen's a pretty strong kid in there. He can play up in Joe Barry's chest a little bit. Now it's Vandaway on Joe Barry Carroll.
Holton and Walker. Edmondson. Ooh, day close. Morris hanging and missing. And a foul over the back. Arnett Holman of Purdue. Larry Brown happy with the play of his Bruins.
Boy, excellent defensive play out here. They're just scrambling all over, and Purdue can't really get into their offense at all. Here we're going to see the play. Now, this is a lob to Arnett Holman. We saw him do something last week. He maneuvered the ball in the air on the lob. There's Joe Barry Carroll. Hey, how many guys you got on this game? 3. Look at him right around him.
17-12. UCLA leads. It's been a long dry spell for Purdue. They haven't scored in almost 5 minutes. Allums threw it away. Edmondson around Day. All the way. Oh, Holman hit Day gets the rebound. 3-on-2 the other way. Darren Day. 15-footer. Not there, and Walker rebounds for Purdue. And a foul on Darren Day.
Walker's quicker than you think he is. I remember with Isaiah Thomas earlier in the tournament here. He stripped him of the ball, then went around him for layup.
And let's back off a second here and take a look at this game, Al. Really, nobody's in control, but I don't think anybody's really playing their game. Who do you think it favors?
I think it favors a quicker team, which is UCLA. And this fellow in there now, this Darren Day, that just took that shot that time, he's one of the fabulous freshmen. Larry Brown thinks he has the most ability of any of the freshmen.
Brian Walker at the line. He's a junior from Lebanon, Indiana. His brother a senior. He's averaging less than 4 points a game. Misses the free throw, and Allums collects the rebound. UCLA's lead remains at 5, and Purdue has been stuck on 12 since the 12-minute mark, and we're down to 7 minutes remaining in the half.
Well, in a run-shoot game to have a score 17-12, obviously it hasn't been a thing of beauty.
Clip through it, another freshman. He can't hit. Drake Morris rebounds for Purdue. 3-on-3. Morris pulls up and misses. And a foul is going to be on UCLA. I believe Rod Foster was the man. Yes.
What happens on these breaks and everything that Purdue has taken, what they got to do is pull up over the 10-second line, wait for Joe Barry to come down, set him up down low. They're in a 1-and-1. Get him the ball. If he gets fouled, it's 2 shots.
College basketball coaches spend many hours recruiting. The National Association of Basketball Coaches is vitally concerned that each athlete and his parents are fully informed about what is permitted in recruiting and the kinds of financial aid that may be offered and accepted. For a free copy of a guide for the college-bound student-athlete, write Recruiting, NCAA, Box 1906, Shawnee Mission, Kansas, 66222. Preceding announcement furnished by the NCAA.
Don't forget all you high school seniors out there, and you're being recruited. This is the second greatest decision in your life, what college you go to.
Drake Morris finally gets Purdue off that 12 mark. They were stuck for 5 minutes. What's the first, Al?
Who you marry. And you usually marry a girl from the sphere of the college that you go to.
Drake Morris makes both free throws. It's 17-14. In comes the older Walker.
Then my ball players, whoever married, I have them on a D&B on the co-ed.
You know, Dick, one of the things in this game also important, Joe Barry Carroll normally sits down a little bit in the first half. He's had to play full bore here and hadn't had a chance to get that rest.
Pressure defense. He lost it. Never had control of it.
That's exactly what Darren Day said. I never had a hold of the ball.
Well, what's happening here, which is fortunate, both teams are playing very sloppy. One of the reasons for this is they're both watching that first game, and it makes them more nervous.
You think the play will improve in the second half? Yes. Allman can't hit. Adams loses it to Carroll, and that's 2. Joe Barry Carroll has 6 points. It's 17-16 UCLA with 6:21 left in the first half.
Purdue picking up a lot higher now, trying to force UCLA farther away from the basket.
Allens inside to Vandeweghe against Holman. Back to Allens, and he was fouled by Walker. Steve Walker, number 12, his first foul.
There's Larry Brown, University of North Carolina product. You see the ball inside. Joe Barry Carroll being blocked out. Everybody putting a body on him. Allens goes up, just does lose it, but an excellent defensive rebound job by Allens, although he did lose handle of the ball. But the thing I think that was a key for Allens is that he did have Joe Barry Carroll blocked out.
Allens shooting only 54% from the line this year. He doesn't put much arch on the ball.
No, he's trying to steer that ball. Just relax out there. Put it up right.
Well, he's got a flaw in shooting technique, so it's 50% may be about right for him.
Well, he misses them both, and now Purdue has a chance for the lead. They trail 17-16. The Iowa fans from the first game are now cheering for Purdue, the Big Ten pulling together.
Allens working so hard to keep the ball away from Carroll.
Allman over Vandeweghe, and the foul is against whom? Edmondson of Purdue. Reminder, gentlemen, that we'll be honoring the star player of this game with a Gillette Tractor Most Valuable Player Award, $1,000 to the university for whom that athlete performed.
You know, Dick, this Purdue club, and there's Lee Rose, has been very calm so far in the first part of this ball game, but this Purdue team is not a good shooting team, and the ups and downs that they've had throughout the season is when nobody's putting it in, and Joe Barry Carroll has to be the whole offense.
Well, both teams are fortunate that it's been a sloppy game. Kiki Vandeweghe has been perky, but the rest of them kind of slow.
Allens off to Holton. 3 freshmen on the floor. Another travel, and no basket for UCLA. So both teams having their difficulties, and Purdue, despite the fact that it's not shot well, now to take the lead.
I think when they get the ball over half court, they ought to pull it back out and work to get it down low the easy way, as they have a couple of times to Carroll. They keep trying to force the ball.
He'll come around the corner now into the left side, then kick it into the big man. There it is. He pushed. That's why I was saying earlier, Dick, it's a 1-and-1. I think also down the other end, they should be feeding the ball to Kiki Vandeweghe. He's out of the gate. He got the hot hand. When someone has the hot hand, give him all he can eat.
Mike Sanders comes in for UCLA. Here's Carroll isolated.
Now, see, Allens, he's going to push him off with the forearm. Really a dumb foul there. Once he gets the ball, no sense putting the arm on him, because you know all the officials are going to be watching him in with the ball.
But once you're caught on the rear end, Billy, you're in Tap City.
That's right, but you might as well let him take the shot.
Carroll, not a bad free throw shooter, but misses that one. And Vandeweghe, the leading rebounder for UCLA, collects it. Holton pulling up, and there's Vandeweghe alone.
That's his shot.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
19-16. Vandeweghe has 12. There's one of Larry Brown's daughters cheering on her new team, the Bruins. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Here they come, back to Carroll this side. Oh, Sanders did a nice job getting in front of him.
That's Edmondson.
He needed that.
19-18. Keith Edmondson has 4.
The book on Purdue all year was their outside shooting was suspect. But in the tournament Morris and Edmondson have been filling it up. So far, they've been kind of flat today.
UCLA with a 1-point lead and 4.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Holton inside to Sanders against Carroll. Can't hit it. Gets his own rebound over Carroll and scores. He is that weak lifter. 7 inches shorter than Joe Barry Carroll. Is that having your hands full?
Yeah, but the thing that he did to get off, he got off the floor so quickly on that second rebound, not the first one.
Here it is. Oh, let's get that one again.
Joe Barry Carroll, he was almost inside the cone with that one. I'd like to see that again. 21-20, Carroll has 8.
That's a good point, Dick. If that ball, in the opinion of the referee, had a chance to go in on the pass, that was an offensive goaltend.
Stolen by Walker, taken back by Pruitt, and Pruitt, a freshman, makes it 23-20.
Cliff Pruitt, Bourbon Day High School, Los Angeles.
Wears the same number as another Bourbon Day graduate, David Greenwood, the All-American, who wore 34 so brilliantly for UCLA. Arnett Holman, what a beautiful physical specimen he is. He's got to be the prototype of the basketball player in build.
Nice move.
Edmondson healing his way inside. He has 6. It's 23-22.
Game starting to pick up. We have 3:10 left. 1 point difference.
And away open is Day over Carroll, and he scores. Good hesitation.
Nice readjustment in the air. Joe Barry Carroll come at him. He had to readjust, and he did it.
Well, the last 2 baskets by UCLA from the freshmen Pruitt and Day, their first hoops. Walker to Walker. Inside Carroll.
Tower of power.
He traveled, no basket. He traveled. Took an extra step, says the official.
Boy, he made that shot and got fouled, but you're right, Dick, he traveled before the play.
Timeout with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. UCLA, an underdog the entire season and playing that role again today, leads Purdue by 3.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
Want my Coke?
No, no.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's the way it should be. I like to see.
See you around.
The whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke in it.
Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
If you think all steel-belted radials are alike, watch this, a Goodyear radial. Michelin, Goodrich, all losing air, going flat. Uniroyal's new Royal Seal, no air loss. Inside, Uniroyal's revolutionary puncture sealant surrounds and seals most tread punctures permanently. Uniroyal's new Royal Seal, for the quality tire that's tougher than nails. You want Uniroyal there.
Join host Bruce Jenner and friends for a salute to the common man engaged in some common and rather uncommon sports on the Sunday Games, April 20th on NBC.
Here's Joe Barry Carroll and a high percentage shot.
Dick, this is an illegal play. The ball is in the way down, and it's in the cylinder. When it is, that's got to be considered
Let's not
a
get
shot,
carried
not a
away,
pass.
Phil. It's a nice play. He's thrown into the basket. He goes in and he
the
cuff
ball
dunks
is in the cylinder, and it's touched by an offensive player. It's a no play. But
Here's
this one is. Edmondson, beautiful fake.
Yep.
Kept his feet on the ground well. That's a great play. That other one shouldn't have been 2 out.
UCLA 25, Purdue 22. It's UCLA's ball in the backcourt. Let's see Carroll again.
You see, he cuff dunks it when he gets a chance.
He cuff dunks it. Another one of your vocabulary terms.
I've been reading about your vocabulary. It's been published all around the country. I'm starting to get the hang of how you talk.
After 3 years, you should take. How you doing with that one word you can't say? Economawalk.
Economawalk.
That's better.
That's a beautiful village in Wisconsin. I know you love.
Look at those shooting percentages. You know what? For Purdue, they're a club that shot under 50% for the year anyway, so that shouldn't scare them too much. But when you start shooting 33% for a half, you're in real trouble against anybody.
Here's a kid that's an enigma. He's shooting 60% from the floor and 55% from the free throw line.
Dick, I'll tell you, I've watched him shoot. He has excellent form, but one thing he does with his wrist, he pronates it out to the sides when he shoots. And if we could catch him doing this, he flips it out to the right. Very pronounced. Instead of going straight at the basket.
Did you pronate, Al? Were you a pronated
He
shooter?
steps away from the line too fast going backwards. When you take a shot, you're supposed to fall forward.
He hit both of them.
27-22 with 2.5 minutes left. Purdue has led only once in this first half. That was early at 4-3.
Looking to swing. Joe Barry Carroll playing the weak side, now into the lane. And the ball away by Carroll. 27-24. Carroll has 10. He is really aggressively coming to meet the ball on the pass. And for a big man to just sit in there and make the pass come to him, sometimes he can intercept it. But when a big man meets the ball like that, very difficult for the defense. Vandaway wants to shoot, and he does. And he hits it. Vandaway, the leading scorer, UCLA with 14.
Vandaway has a license really to shoot anywhere within 18, 20 feet in. I thought that one's a little bit outside his range, but he filled it up.
He's a good perimeter shooter. Edmondson was fouled. Day saved a sure 2. Edmondson will have to go to the line and earn the 2. But Keith Edmondson's a big kid playing that position. Here we're going to see Joe Barry Carroll. That's what I was talking about, coming out to meet the pass. Turns around. Normally a guy will turn to his shooting side. He turned away from it that time, but still had the nice touch.
I believe he's the #1 draft choice in the NBA, but my brother Dick, who works for the Knickerbockers, he says that Griffith might be the #1 draft choice in the NBA.
I think it depends on the team that gets it and what their needs are. The pros have to be smart enough to do that.
I always believe that the key to a basketball team is the center.
Edmondson misses the free throw. You saw on your monitor tomorrow, you'll see the women's championship from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Central Michigan, Tennessee against Old Dominion. That'll be fun. Edmondson gets one of the 2, and it's 29-25.
Little pressure up court, a 2-2-1.
Carroll all the way back. Good defense. Aaron Day off to Sanders. Holton, Pruitt inside and a foul. Reaching around was 45. Arnett Holman of Purdue, his second. Dick, you remember last year when we had UCLA playing and they had, of course, the great backcourt shooting combination. Kiki Vandaway normally was the 3rd or 4th guy on that team that you tried to defense. We saw him shoot from the outside before. Last year he used to have that perimeter shot often, and he can hit it. He has very good range for a man his size. Well, the statistics bear that out, Billy. Here's a guy, his 3rd in history at UCLA behind Walton and Alcindor, is the best shooter. And a lot of his points have not been like today inside, have been that 15 to 20-foot jumper.
Well, those 3 guys he played behind was David Greenwood, Roy Hamilton, and Brad Holland. And when they left last year, they left with 54 points. So that's almost 75% of your team that graduated offensively.
And he's from such an interesting family. His father an All-American at Colgate, his mother a Miss America, his uncle Mel Hutchins an All-American at BYU. His sister was on the 1976 Olympic team, swimming team. So that's some family. They all have their credentials. 5-point UCLA lead, matching their largest of the game. Inside to Carroll. He walked. Sanders. He walked. He walked because he got so excited that he was down in that low. He wanted to put it up. Lee Rose didn't agree. He's off his feet. Well, he ought to see our replay. There was no question about that one. Darren Day moves into the court. 6'7". He's a forward naturally, and he's played guard at UCLA, and he's fouled. Reaching in was 44. Roosevelt Barnes, his first foul. Brown, a guard himself. Lee Rose, the same. At Transylvania College in Lexington was the alma mater. Barnes out and Edmondson back in. Coach Larry was a member of the Olympic team. He played
Tokyo 64, the gold medal winners.
Right. Absolutely right. He and Doug Moe were bookends, and they went into the pro ball in the ABA. They were 2 of the key players in the ABA when it first got off the ground. Darren Day made the first 2, and now he's made 3 in a row, and that's the biggest lead of the game for UCLA at 32-25. Don't forget, folks, make your plans right now. Invite the friends over and sit back. Join us 9 o'clock Eastern, Monday night, 6 o'clock in the West for the NCAA Championship. So Day rattles in 4 in a row from the line. 8-point lead, the biggest of the game, with 1 minute left in the first half.
Purdue needs this basket.
Well, they never really have gotten into their offense.
Well, give the UCLA some credit there.
Yes, sir,
excellent defense.
Look at that. Look at them pushing and shoving in there. Walker way off the mark, and the foul is on whom?
Sanders.
Sanders of UCLA. And Larry Brown close to a technical as he came off the bench like a whirling dervish. And you see what happened? Look at Larry. Is he intense? Well, what's happening? And Larry's doing this very wisely.
He's been rotating centers defensively against Joe Barry Carroll, and they're going in there, swatting, pushing, holding, doing everything they can. The young guy's excited, isn't he?
Well, he's not that young. He's 39. He looks younger than he is. He's out of Brooklyn, New York. He's a great coach. I jogged when I was out at UCLA. He really got this thing straightened out. At the beginning, it was a mess. At the beginning of the year when they were 8-6. But now here they are in the Final Four, Cinderella team.
Larry's gone to his X-rated verbal game. 33-25. Darren Day, blocked by Carroll. There's the All-American. He just came looming out of the horizon.
He's slow getting down the court, but Purdue won't wait for him.
Scarce inside, right through the hands of Edmondson.
Now, there's a case. Now, Joe Barry Carroll runs down the end of the court. Makes a great defensive play. Here he is. He's waiting for the defensive play. Now, he makes it. There's no fast break going here, but they don't give Joe Barry a chance. There you go, Al.
Wham. Now, he has good timing.
They've got to let the big guy get in the game, give him a chance to get down the court.
Final seconds of the first half. UCLA has an 8-point lead.
They're going for one.
They can go in with a double-digit lead. They're in good shape.
Vandaway misses everything. And it's a desperation throw by Walker with 1 second left. So UCLA will have a chance to play it to the other end.
No, they get it down here at the other end of the court. Larry Brown wanting to go the other way, but that's only when you're throwing it from out of bounds.
Right.
Desperation shot by Holton is a little short. That's the end of the first half. UCLA leaves the court with an 8-point lead and a coach that's angry even though he's up by 8.
Well, I didn't think it was a good half of basketball. I think UCLA is playing decent, but neither team was superb.
I'm sure Lee Rose is much more disappointed going the other way with the performance of his Boilermakers. At the intermission, Bruins 33, Purdue 25. We return to our studios for this message.
Right guard knows that in equally active situations, men and women don't perspire equally. Men perspire more. That's why men count on Right Guard. Right Guard is so strong, so effective, it helps stop a man's perspiration odor all day long. Yes, men and women don't perspire equally. And that's why men count on Right Guard. Strong, effective Right Guard. Because men perspire more.
Hey, you're sold out of Gillette Track 2.
Delivery's coming any second. But why should a busy man like you have to wait when this razor will do?
Gillette Track 2 shaves me closer and smoother than that. I'll wait.
These will fit your Track 2 handle.
I know what I'm getting with Track 2 twin blades, but those, I'll wait.
But to guys who use Gillette Track 2, no other blade will do.
Track 2? We'll wait.
Gillette, when it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
This bud's for everybody who helps build this country from the ground up.
This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for the main event. Your Ford dealer is proud to present the winners from Ford. Extra values like Granadas with special features at a very special sticker price. Popular new Fairmonts in 2- and 4-door models. And here comes our tough one, the Explorer pickup specially equipped for extra value. Drive home a winner during the main event 1980 at your Ford dealers now.
At halftime, UCLA's Bruins out ahead of the Purdue Boilermakers, 33-25. We're going to take a look at the first half, and we're going to have a look at the stripe-ridden basketball program at the University of New Mexico on the IBM College Basketball Report following these messages from your local station.
On NBC's Sports World, see action-packed live coverage of the AIAW Women's Basketball Championship. Then Disco Invitational. That's all tomorrow on NBC's Sports World.
Our snapper handles snow removal, gardening, and lawn care. It's easy. I just lower the cutting unit, engage the power, and off I go. One pedal controls my speed and direction, and my snapper is really rugged. which makes the tough job seem small, like plowing in my garden. Incredible, Snapper. We couldn't do it without you.
Any way you cut it, it's a snap with Snapper.
See Stone Implement Petersburg or Henderson Implement Henderson.
Did you hear the one about the guy who bought a loaf of bread at the supermarket and had to eat it in the checkout line to keep from starving to death?
Shop Quick Pick Market. No checkout line.
Newswatch tonight at 6.
Brought to you by IBM, Ox Division.
This is the idea behind the IBM Electronics 75 typewriter, to help secretaries be more productive automatically. It has automatic retyping and revision, automatic centering and underlining, automatic erasing and column layout. The IBM Electronics 75 typewriter. It saves time, and whatever saves time is more productive, automatically.
Miss Jones, are these your gloves?
At halftime, UCLA's Bruins out ahead of Purdue by a score of 33-25. Strange half. Kiki Vandeweghe has 16 points, but some of the Bruins' big guns are really being held in check. Foster only 4, Sanders and Wilkes only 2 each. Joe Barry Carroll has 12 for Purdue. For some more observations, let's go across the floor to Dick and Al. Gents?
Wait a minute, I got to get the coach back. He's applauding the entertainment from the UCLA song leaders. They're not quite close enough, Coach, and I saw your wife watching, so be careful.
It's only human nature to turn around and watch the UCLA cheerleaders. I think in the game today is that both teams are playing excellent defense. Purdue has to start getting the ball, obviously, into Joe Barry Carroll, and the UCLA has to keep the ball in Kiki Vandeweghe's hands. It was not, in my opinion, a good first half. The second half should be out of sight.
All right, there's been many stories in college basketball this year. One at the University of New Mexico, where they had this scandal early. But out of the ashes, a beautiful story was written before the end of this college basketball year.
2 years ago, we went to New Mexico to profile an immensely successful college basketball program. The Lobos were ranked 3rd in the nation, led the country in attendance, and were headed for the NCAA tournament. This fall, as most know, the roof fell in. This man, Norm Ellenberger, was fired for alleged transcript tampering. One assistant pleaded guilty to federal mail fraud. Ellenberger and his top assistant, John Wisnant, now face trial on 9 grand jury indictments. Meanwhile, New Mexico's basketball program suffered. The once mighty Lobos fell to 6-22 this season. A young 29-year-old assistant, Charlie Harrison, suddenly inherited a crisis-shattered basketball team.
Here it was the guy that had recruited them and the guy that had been there since October 15th, and here it was December 1st was no longer there. And here it was me, who had been somewhat of the subservient position on the sidelines, and now they were going to be in front of me for the first time all year, and I'm sure that they were confused. And we changed our team 2 times in a period of a week after that. We had some kids declared ineligible, and then we had to start again from scratch. I had to pick up a football player, but you really didn't have time to think about that because there were games back-to-back, and all you were trying to do is get your team as best prepared to play this team that you were going to play as you could.
Harrison's team may have been the most game club in America. Despite playing with only 2 scholarship players and 5 walk-ons most of the year, the Lobos won 5 games after the scandal broke and lost 8 games by fewer than 5 points. The 1980 Lobos became a special team to their fans, who still came in over 15,000 strong per game, and who on the final night paid tribute to their young coach. Harrison, who had faced a bigger fight, a victory over childhood polio, got an emotional salute from the people who had come to love him.
Just a quick word. I appreciate the response, and you know, throughout the course of the year, that this right here has given me enough courage to go on. But any response and accolades goes to these guys right here, and some of them are not in uniform. They're around here in the gym somewhere. My salute is to my team and to the greatest saints in America. Thank you.
Second of all, on behalf of all the players, we'd like to present our coach, Charles Harrison, with a Coach of the Year award.
Charlie Harrison will not be staying on as head coach of New Mexico. Former Pepperdine coach Gary Colson gets that job.
I came here to be an assistant coach, and I really didn't pursue the job as such. Of course, I think anyone in their right mind would want to be the head basketball coach at the University of New Mexico. And I would like to have had the job if it was offered to me, but I didn't come here with that intention. And at the point in time that the job was offered to someone else, I hadn't proven myself worthy of having it.
The fans' love for their gutsy young coach also extended to the players, particularly a very special sophomore guard, Kenny Page, who averaged 28 points a game in a spectacular season-long one-man show. It was Page's dynamic performance that kept New Mexico alive.
Well, we all got together and we decided that we should go on a contending season, make the best of it that we can, and just hope for the best. I think that when our team had stayed around, I would have been more like a team-oriented player, because we had a lot of talent. But then after the scandal broke, it was like it was on my shoulder, and I had to respond.
The story of what decimated New Mexico is a sad one, but the courage of those who remain proved to be one of the most endearing sports stories of the year. The bench had more suits and ties than warm-up suits. Players came off intramural teams to become varsity starters, and the non-scholarship players delivered performances beyond expectations. Through it all, Page was remarkable. He scored over 30 points 12 times. Often double and triple teamed, he still scored. He was a unanimous All-Western Athletic Conference choice, was Player of the Year in his conference. On Page and Harrison, the New Mexico experience has had an unforgettable impact.
I think it made me more mature and more smart as a basketball player and a human being. And I just learned a lot from it, and it might help me in the future.
I don't think that I can exactly put my finger on the good things right now, although there have been a lot of good things. You know, the relationship I've had with my players and